New always talking shit show.
Yo, we actually starting the show this
And we
time.
back.
It's your boy Doc on.
It's your boy Keem Sincere.
It's another episode of the
Always Talking Shit Show.
So, it's come to my attention that a lot of our viewers happen to be women.
Shout out to the ladies.
Not so much.
I'm speaking for myself, man. You get your shit off.
I'm fucking around. I got a question. Since we got a lot of female viewers, when they do watch this, go ahead and comment and answer.
Yeah, we
the
start
question.
late, so our live numbers ain't really popping, but they get us on the get back.
Go ahead and comment when you do watch it. Why do women act like men are so disposable? Like, it's just a lot
I
of.
can answer that question.
It's just a lot of like acting like we're just the most disposable thing there is. Like, I get it. There's fake dick and shit out there on all day, but I don't understand. Like, why do you feel like motherfuckers is just so just disposable and expendable? I don't understand. Cause it's like, let's go back to like OnlyFans, and like I feel like a lot of strippers act like this. You shit on the people who mostly support you and shit. And like they really fucking do. And it just blows my mind at like how expendable men have become and how disposable we have become to women.
And so you're saying today's society, watch out, man. Get your little, watch out, bro. Relax, my nigga. Relax.
Nigga, fuck how y'all feel. No, I'm playing. ATS, nigga. You know what it is.
We don't have no hand signals, nigga. Don't get us on nobody's list, nigga. I told you about that shit. Relax, nigga. The fuck, nigga.
I can't
We a
throw up the
podcast
ATS
marketing
though?
company. Nope.
Why not?
Nigga, hold a sign up, nigga. That shit, nigga. Don't confuse us with no gang. Man, niggas trying to Rico everybody. How these niggas all in our little shits.
Nah, but like, explain that to me. Why we become just expendable now?
Well, I'll give you my opinion. I can't all the way explain it, obviously, for obvious purposes. I think that women in today's society are just women, period. Their birth power are one of their birth privileges, I would say, in my humble opinion, is thirsty men. So when you have an abundance of thirsty ass, lame men that will do anything to please a woman, right? And an abundance of men that, probably, play their cards weak, don't really hold it down all the way. I mean, that in my opinion adds to like the idea of like, man, fuck that. All you niggas is the same. Like, I'll use you for what I want to use you for. Because there's always a man that's going to feed me. There's always a man that's going to help me clothe myself, take me shopping. There's always a man that's going to give me cash to spend around and throw around. There's always a man that's going to take me and my friends out to the places we want to go, whether that's a party, club, restaurant. There's always a man that's going to potentially help me further my career. Now, it gets tricky because a lot of good women ain't with all that because they know that these men aren't doing these things for nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it gets tricky for, I think that those type of chicks that we talking about become like and you could throw those type of men in the same category. They all become like a buffer for good men and good women on the outside, and then like in the middle it's a clusterfuck of a whole bunch of fake motherfuckers.
Right.
Whole bunch of motherfuckers that know what to say for the first couple of months to a relationship, right? Or how to act, and then really they're characterly flawed. They're they're shitty people. They hurt people.
That's why I'm glad I'm cool in my fucking relationship. Just
right.
Like, just seeing like just how just expendable a man has become. Like, it's like fuck us in all aspects of anything. It's always it's cool. Like, be independent, be all that shit, but just stop acting like you're above us. Like, you're just above a man and all that shit.
I mean, where are you getting that from though? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what you gotta be careful for too. Like what makes you think that? And let me say this first. And let me say something. No, let me get this off real quick, because I had this conversation similarly with my cousin and my sister. I think that they broke up a point, man. I'm not gonna steal it and act like it's just mine. When they said it, I had to realize it. When we were shorties, Snoop said, "Bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks," and we all was like, "What? That's how he started the song? Yo, that's crazy." Right. So you had a generation of women being called bitches, hoes, and tricks by some of the famous, most biggest rappers that they supported. They're part of this culture too. They was buying Big Pimpin'. They was buying, all these different doggy style records and shit like that, right? So then it also gave a credence to a lot of young men to be like, oh, bitches, they like this shit. They cool with it, right? So we had a culture of bitch and hoes, calling bitch and hoes and treating bitches, it's all on the bitch. You know what I mean? All that, right? Now, I find it ironic that now that you have a culture of Meg Thee Stallion, right? The City Girls, Cardi B, and Nicki, where they rap just like the Loonies. They rap just like Doggy Style. They rap just like Hove in the Prime. Like, man, these niggas is lame. They groupies. They here to lick my pussy, nigga, and buy me shit, nigga, and if they can't do that, nigga, kiss my ass. How is that any different than saying it's all on a bitch and popping your collar? We can't be sensitive in the culture now. Like, it can't be, it's fucked up. These bitches, these women, excuse me, language, these women think they got one up on us. They treating the men like shit. That sound kind of sensitive in the strength that, like, fam, hip-hop. We start telling niggas like Common and Talib Kweli and Mos Def and shit like that they was corny because they didn't disrespect women. And these are some of the illest niggas to do it. They start being corny because LL Cool J could never have a career he had now because he didn't disrespect women. And he wasn't soft, fam. Nobody put their hands on Todd. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, it's a different vibe now. Look how niggas treat Drake. Because he caters to who? Women. But he can rap his ass off so he keep us entertained.
But okay, still.
Let me just respond to what I'm saying. Does that make sense though?
It does, but it's still like neither side is expendable.
No.
So you're asking where I got this from.
We used to say that, but are you saying that when we was on that shit as young boys, popping that golden era hip hop where we were dogging women? Were we saying that women was expendable? Because I remember the time when certain girls would be offended by certain shit, like, "Why y'all listen? Oh, that's foul," and we would be explaining it away, like, "Nah, man, nah, it ain't like that. He ain't talking to you, like, shorty, like, nah, see, because they don't look at you like a bitch, like, you ain't a hoe, like, so that's just for the women that's out there like that." So when Meg and them is talking about these niggas that they run it up on and do all that, they not talking about you.
I get it, but I'm not talking about Meg and them. So you asking where I got it from? It ain't from real ass bitch give a fuck about a nigga in the hot girl summer and all that shit. They've earned the right to have that movement. They've earned the right to have them type of songs because you're right. In the 90s, we have bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. That's not where this argument comes from. But it's like when I'm on like Facebook and shit, and you're just seeing constant just shitting on men, shit on men, shit on men. Like, it's just constant.
Okay. I see where you're coming from. You talking about? Yeah, that's that.
And I get it. You can be bitter. Like, motherfuckers get bitter and they get jaded.
So you mean like the posts or the memes are like real?
Just the everything, dog. It's just. And it goes from regular wholesome females, and it's really bad with the strippers and fucking OnlyFans females. The strippers and OnlyFans females really just think niggas addicted to ride on and make content with and buy, nigga. And a stripper really could give a fuck about a dude. And
but fam, this is why I'm telling you. This is where my cousin and them was getting their shit off. This is where they was winning, because I was sounding like you at first.
Am I sounding weird?
You sound misogynistic as shit, and I'm gonna tell you.
Do I?
Yeah, bro, and it comes off as sensitive.
Come on.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not. You my man. I'm not saying you sensitive. This take comes off as sensitive. Any man that dog, I was even laughing at all the rappers that felt like they had to tell the world how bad of a song WAP was for the next generation and for the culture. Because you had a bunch of two women popping their shit and talking bad about niggas like the way we've been talking bad about females for years. Like male rappers from our era, nigga, have talked so bad about females, and most of their CD buyers and people buying their tickets and shit was fucking women. The reason why they loved Ja Rule and Tupac the way they did is because, like,
they would make a couple songs catered to
I remember when Hov
shit.
got it. Hov got it after a while when you started, nigga, ladies is pimps too. Go and brush your shoulder. I do this for the chicks that strip to pay for tuition. He started throwing that out there too as a business. He's a hustler and adaptive. But that wasn't his natural way. His natural way, he was shitting on females too. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think that, like, sometimes that we just gotta frame it that way. Like let's just take a minute and chill and be like, okay. If I'm not mistaken, all the rappers I just named are either dating someone or in some kind of relationship, married, something like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's not necessarily like, and we're going to get off them because you wasn't talking about them particularly.
Right.
Fam, I think it's cliche for women that are inept to shit on men. I think it's cliche for men that ain't doing shit, ain't living up to their responsibilities, to get on the internet and shit on women. I don't believe none of that shit. For every nigga I know that claim that a woman is the reason why he can't see his kids, I take that with a grain of salt and say, okay, so if it's 10 niggas saying that, 2 of them telling the truth. Now, they'd be like, King, why you say that? You don't even have kids. I'll say, yeah, I know, but I worked in social services. And I've seen a lot, dog. Like, it's not, you know what it is. Nigga, ain't nobody going to keep you from none of your kids. And when they tried or things go down, nigga, you going to do whatever it is you got to do. Right? Nigga, or that's get a lawyer, go to court, do all those things. And a lot of men ain't doing that. A lot of men ain't driving across the state to run a business and be a father. You know what I'm saying? And do things for their family, hold it down. So I'm just taking all that with a grain of salt. A lot of these women shitting on dudes couldn't fucking prepare a meal for themselves or their kids if you paid them. They can't keep a clean house. They can't breathe life into a family structure. Shit on men all you want to, fam. Because, like you said, you in your situation, nigga, you're like, we're friends on social media. I don't be seeing her, nigga, retweeting posts about men ain't shit and this and that, and I wonder why. You feel me? Like, I wonder why. It's just like I've been noticing that, and so it's funny you said that because I kind of was on that a while ago, and I just fucked around and said it in front of the wrong females, and I was like, wait, what do you mean? Like, oh, so now because of these OnlyFans bitches and these other chicks that are promiscuous in their ways and they look at men as a come up, you gonna let them be the spokesperson for every female in the world? You know how many females is on this earth that use Twitter? These my relatives, so they got at me like, bro, look at the you was even on me about this shit. Like, nigga, look at who are in your mentions. Like, look at who you social. I had to get off that shit because I was like, damn, you're right. All I do is follow females that's throwing their ass at me and popping their titties. And then I'm taking what they say on a daily basis, nigga, in my head, nigga, and forming like an opinion on it. And once I got that, I was like, damn, man, they might be right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they might have a point. Now, to get deep on this shit, they're trying to flip the role. They're trying to flip the script, and I think that's what you feel. We're living in a world where they're trying to, like, make women more masculine and make men more feminine.
Yeah, I'm not with that.
Fam.
I'm not with none of that.
Fam,
like,
I'm just telling you.
Fuck out of here.
I'm just telling you what I see.
Ain't no more feminine. I ain't, nigga, please.
That's just the world we live in, and like the society that, and I ain't gonna get too deep, man. But if you start doing research on the people that came over and colonized this continent, you go deeper into that history, it's not far off. And what do they say? History repeats itself if you let it. So when you start talking about, I remember I would argue with black people about Christmas and stuff like that, and they were like, the pagan, like, origins of it and the true meanings of it, and they would always, it don't mean that now. And I would always be like, to you. Right? But hold on, hear me out though, because we live in an Illuminati like obsessed world, right? Right. We live in a fucking secret society obsessed world. Mm-hmm. So these things aren't new, and if these things have been happening forever, and they have us celebrating, we don't know necessarily what we celebrating, but they're celebrating it in their ways, and they're keeping those things together. And I'm just saying, a lot of these different things will breed itself into society. Now, it's not to judge anything. I have no opinion on anyone's personal preference of life and the way they chose to live it, as long as you're not harming me or trying to restrict me from the way I want to live mine. But I can have an opinion when I watch a cartoon with my nephew, and I'm wondering why it's over-sexualized. Like, why is the topic of sex coming up in cartoons and, like, spaces where children loiter? You know what I mean? Like, what do you mean they're teaching that, I was reading some shit that they're saying that they're getting these laws passed in all these school districts around the country that if your child, they'll show your kid, like, a video about, homosexuality, heterosex, LGBT community stuff, like, transgender stuff like that, in a way of trying to inform them to, like, sensitize them to some of these things, so, like, anti-bullying. But after they do that, from that moment on, the kids they inform them, if you ever feel a certain way or that you identify, if you little Timmy decide that you don't really want to, you don't identify as a boy, you come talk to the counselor, and from that moment on, once he has that, and he says that, everyone there has to refer to him to whatever he decides. I'm just like, that's kind of crazy. Like, you don't involve the parent. Like, it's not something that we'll talk to you and your parent and a doctor or something. Because the only reason why I'm saying that is because, fam, I worked in social services. I was a young boy in the 90s. Nigga, if I got caught touching a little girl's pussy when I was 13 and she was 13, they were sending us to fucking psychiatry. They were sending us to sex therapy. Right. Nigga, they were sending us to motherfucking criminal court. All type of shit. So you telling me now that if a little boy decides that, I think I'm supposed to be a girl, that's a big decision to make. You telling me now that all they got to do is go to their guidance counselor? And fam, if I see my guidance counselor today, I might slap the shit out of him. What a waste of time and bad advice. You have a child, hit me with your opinion on that.
I got a question on that, though. How do you feel about them saying if you date a trans woman, you're not gay as a hetero man?
I think that whoever decides...
How do you feel about
I'm going to tell you. Whoever them is, right? And whoever them meaning the people that decide, I guess it would be heterosexual men in this case, that decide they want to date a trans woman, right, and still identify as heterosexual. Mm-hmm. Go right ahead. And the reason why I say that is because I can't tell someone that's living a lifestyle that I won't ever indulge in, right, how to identify and how to live. Now, what I'll say that's dangerous to that is if they're not open moving forward. So if you're going to go from a trans woman to like a natural born woman, and this might be me being ignorant, but are there health concerns? And I don't want to sound like the whole thing that, every homosexual person is going to be is naturally going to breed AIDS or things like that. I don't believe that. Well, I'm just saying that, isn't that like because we grown men. I've dealt with women that don't involve themselves with anal sex, and I've dealt with women that like that. But one thing I noticed is that I've talked to women about that you're not doing both of them tonight. You know what I'm saying? Or like, wait a minute. What are you doing? You were just in there, and now you gonna come in. I've talked to women that like are kind of iffy about that. Like, whoa, bro, you was just back there.
And then you got ones that'll do the whole ATM shit.
Right.
And if a bitch is willing to do that, I can't double back to that because it's like,
I'm just saying,
ew,
fam.
like I could never.
Hey.
Okay, so
wild shit
no,
out
because
there,
there was a study I saw on Facebook about them. This is a whole study that because this person identifies and looks like and looks like, identifies, acts like, sounds like, has the hormones of a woman.
Right.
Just because it has this woman
Miss Nevada is a trans woman.
has seriously?
Yeah. First trans.
Okay, like I said, and they're saying just because this woman has male genitalia, that it does not make you a gay man because that person. The person that you fell in love with before you found out this person has a penis, you were attracted to this woman that you thought was a woman. So they're saying off that alone, it doesn't make a heterosexual man homosexual because you're attracted to the womanly qualities of this person. Because when you think about it, they're saying when you saw this person, say you saw him at the club, you didn't know there was something between their legs. You just thought that was a woman.
Okay, so this is where, like, I think legally, and I guess this is being defined.
I don't mean to laugh, but that's such a slippery slope,
No,
bro.
I know, but I think this is being defined in this way for potential legal terms, right? No, I'm being honest. And I think is that they're doing that for protective purposes because right now in society, I don't know if it's still like that, but there's men in particular that have gotten weddings and marriages annulled. I should say, not weddings, but marriages annulled, because of their wives' excessive makeup. And what I mean by that is that when you went to court this woman, and when you were courting this woman, you were she looked a certain way. You know what I mean? And then after the grace period, you guys get engaged and, she looks a certain way, right? But then after you move in with each other and it's like, we live together, we're married, you wake up and catch her without her makeup on. And she looks completely different. I don't mean like, hey, when she wears her makeup, she's a 10. And when she has her makeup off, she's about a 7.5.
Nah, you're talking like complete,
I'm talking about like
180.
And look, you know what? Let me apologize, man, because I don't mean to rate people like that, especially females. I'm just trying to get my point across. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
So there's been cases, you can look it up, there's been cases where men have gotten marriages annulled because they were able to prove that, this is not who I was dating and who I married. Now, I'm not the most shallow person in the world, but I've heard
stories like that about makeup
my
and
fiance,
shit.
Everybody said looks like Halle Berry.
Or I saw
this
one.
woman
I
looks
saw
nothing
one.
like her, you know what I mean?
A woman like the woman that he married ended up having like plastic surgery, and he saw like original pictures of her, and he was mad because he's like, now my kid is gonna look like that. It's not gonna look like that. See, he's trying to get his whole marriage.
Now look. Is this some shallow shit? Maybe, but you only would live one life on this earth, for all we know, and you do have that right. There are protective things that need to go on, and it's just like, man, I seen some shit today that blew my mind of a young lady, and I don't like calling. This is my thing. Anybody that truly knows me know that I've never been the one to be like, look at that ugly motherfucker. I don't really make comments on how people look.
Judgment on people's.
That's just not how I've just never been my thing. I don't even know if I have a moral reason for it, fam. It's not because I'll laugh my ass. You get to snapping on a nigga. I'm dying laughing, fam. Don't get it twisted. I'm not the guy to be like, no, Dre, don't do it. I'm gonna be weak, like, nigga, what'd you say? But that's just not my natural thing.
But you're not the one that's gonna be capping on a nigga. You ain't gonna.
No, that's just not.
Yeah.
Or me and my friends can go back and forth,
right.
but like, I'm not the nigga that just walks. You know, there's some dudes that walk in the room and you can't get nothing off past them. They about to get on your head. I just never was like that. So, me naturally, when I see some of these things, because the internet ain't shit. They'll be like, man, look at this. And they'll post a young lady before, and then they'll post her doing her makeup. And it's really like a lot of times, unless the woman's doing it themselves, people are posting that to make fun of them. Fam, I seen some shit that was almost sad. because I thought to myself, and I don't mean to get sensitive, fam, or like on some corny shit, but I did. I literally thought to myself, like, fam, what if I was so uninterested or unmotivated by the way I naturally looked that I had to do something like that? Where it's like, because a lot of men take it for what it is. If niggas start going bald early, they rocking the baldy, or they just go bald early. Like, if niggas start like going gray early, if they ain't gonna dye their shit every once in a while, nigga, like for certain things, nigga, they just gonna have gray hairs popping up or whatever. Like, it's a lot of things that we don't really take in, because women are in this, like, I guess it's a compliment to them because they not as shallow as us.
Right.
You feel me? But I be feeling like, dog, is it really us? Especially when I start talking about our culture.
I don't know, nigga. Real shit, I started going bald at 22, nigga.
Dog, I start getting grays in like 23, 24. So it's just like, I feel you. Shit happens.
Right.
But all I'm saying is that we kind of roll with the punches a little bit more naturally. And then, like, women, oh, my eyelashes aren't long enough. Right now, this is the fucked up thing. I was just arguing with this feminist on Twitter because she was saying that men are the reason for this. And I was like, what men?
Right.
Like, we want to start calling this shit out, fam. Because if I can't get the same jobs in, like, protection from police, I'm not taking the slack for white men. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't create these European beauty standards. Like, what the fuck you talking about?
I'm taking the responsibility.
Yeah, man.
For
If y'all
white
gonna let
men.
me in the club, then we
can talk about it. But yeah,
but we
nigga,
not all the
we
same.
We ain't been invited to the
what
fucking to the lunch, nigga.
That's what I was telling her.
Club.
I was like, fam, so you really gonna just say men discriminate on women as a blanket term? Not like all men get a black, Hispanic, fucking Puerto Rican, Filipino nigga wish he did have the power in this country to discriminate on his woman. Like, what are you talking about? Like, nigga, we all trying to get the same right. Like, what do you mean? Like, who are you talking about when you say that? Because when I watch the news and I see the group of men that's arguing against women's reproductive rights, they're usually between the ages of 70 and 80, and they're old and white. It ain't never like the Hispanic guy, the black Uncle Tom Republican. You don't even be seeing the black Uncle Tom Republicans sign off on that shit. Tim Scott don't even be in that room, my nigga. Right. Like, what are we talking about, fam? Like, and then when you see the niggas arguing for women's reproductive rights, who do you see? I'm not saying no white dudes. You see white dudes, but you see, like, that's where all the black dude politicians and Hispanic politicians and all this other shit. So, like, she was getting mad because I was like, dog, and then I guess she was Nigerian. Shout out to my Nigerians. Shout out to Nigeria. But I'm a truth teller.
Right.
And so she was shitting on me. So I was like, wait, hold on, man. I said, look, so if you being fair, I said,
she shit on you, huh?
I just want you to be, like, honest about who you're mad at. I said, because
we didn't start those beauty standards.
I could say this. Not even beauty standards. I'm just talking about, like, discriminating against women. I was just like, fam, no black American man that's FBA, foundational black American, that's descendants of slaves and black natives in this country, none of us have ever had the power to discriminate on any woman. So I would like for women to literally exclude us when they be like, oh, men ain't shit. It's men. It's what is it? What is it? Toxic masculinity. Right. Like, you don't even know what our masculinity is like because we've never been in the driver's seat to be like, this is what we would do. And if you go all through our history, it's full of women queens. So I don't know about that. And she got mad at me, and I was like, man, she's trying to make it a thing because I was like, don't act like I'm shitting on Nigerian people or Nigeria. Right. I'm just saying that if you're speaking from a Nigerian woman's experience, you should say that.
Yeah, like, exactly. Because it's not you.
You're in my comment, like getting at me, calling me a sexist, fam.
Because
what are you talking about?
That's okay.
Like, I don't even.
Let's talk about that.
How is that possible?
The new age feminists.
What's the other word though? Not sexist. I could be
misogynistic.
A black man could definitely be misogynistic,
but we ain't not sexist.
But fam, when you talking about sexism and like discriminating against women,
but that's my thing about but
how?
We've talked about this about new age feminists. Stop being so quick to calling a man a fucking sexist because they disagree with you. How the fuck am I a sexist just because I don't agree with your fucking point of view about men and what happens? Like, of course I'm not gonna let you shit on all men because you're not gonna shit on me personally. I'm a fucking man.
Like, fam, I get it if you commented some shit and I jump my ass on your post. Like, I wasn't even talking about like that.
Jump off the
like, it's because you men are saying like, wait, which men? And then, like, I thought she was like FBA, so I thought she was like a black American chick. So when he said, I was like, man, why would you say that, sis? Like, you know damn well no black man has ever like,
but it wasn't FBA.
Ever went through Congress and like made it to where you could do something.
She was talking about Nigerian experience,
right? No, so then she banged on me like, oh well, I'm not. What are you talking? Like I'm from Nigeria, like in my country, and I was just like, well, look, man, I love Nigeria.
I don't know about you.
Shout out to Nigeria.
Yeah, I'm not. I said, but I'm not from there.
I don't know the sexism rate in Nigeria. I don't know if like men have a history of discriminating against women in Nigeria. Unfortunately, I don't know that. But if that's the case, you should say that. But I'm not Nigerian, man, and I don't have. Why would you come on my post like holding me accountable for some shit that men do in Nigeria? Because we all got black skin. Like that don't make sense. Because shit. When my ancestors was catching hell over here, nigga, we sure couldn't run to Nigeria.
I got a whole other question. Okay, for like feminists and these females out here, why would you want a demasculized man? Like, don't you want a nigga that's gonna like protect you or some shit? You want a little pushover ass?
Well, if you're an extreme feminist, probably not. And look.
Okay, so if your man just getting his ass whipped left and right, you gonna stay with this nigga?
This is deeper than that. This is why I said what I said earlier when I was like, man, stop. Exclude me and my tribe out of this shit. Because all men are catching hell.
Right.
From what a group of old, racist, bigoted, sexist ass white men created in writing fucking years before any of us was ever born or walking the earth. And that mentality has been taught. That a man is supposed to be stronger. Well, nigga, what if your woman was in African culture and in black ancient culture and indigenous culture? What if your woman was a fucking warrior princess, nigga, and you was just like a great alchemist? She might be stronger than you. Like, nigga, when shit go left, nigga, she might be the one that grabs the spear, nigga, and you grab the kids and be like, yo, I'm gonna go to the hut. I'm just saying, I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. Like, we have a set of ways that we're taught to look at man and woman, and if you think about it. We were never even supposed to be involved in this shit.
No, that's not my like thing. Women.
But that's where like this shit come from.
No, I'm not saying it just for this aspect of like from the masculine man flexing. What I'm saying is like.
I'm talking about
women usually talk about wanting a man that's going to be able to defend them, protect them, they just feel safe with that person, right? So how you going to feel safe with a motherfucker that you fucking demasculize all the fucking time with? The females that we're talking about probably just they got niggas they talk probably just silly too.
No, well hear me out. To answer your question, it was a time that women wasn't allowed to like go into the military as combat, in militias like military like combat and in the field or shit like that. And you have women walking around, and I know one, man, shout out to my own girl Carmen, beautiful as hell, feminine, will probably whoop your ass because nigga they was just in a fucking war.
No, I get that, but that's not really
but that
what
breeds
I'm saying.
No, I'm just saying, but that's what breeds into society. You have on one hand a sex opposite of man that's been shitted on forever, abused. Like, it wasn't until I think the 60s that it was like illegal to rape your wife. Like, all these type of shits. Like, arranged marriages, all these type of shits.
Rape your wife? How does that?
Because we're 21st century men. We're 21st century men.
It's got to be that, I guess, bro.
No, because nigga, at the end of the day.
What the fuck?
Because if you come home from a hard day's work.
Right.
And you're horny.
Right.
And you try to wake your wife up and she said, no, I don't feel good. I don't feel like. You're going to take your ass to sleep or you're going to go rub one up because you're a 21st century man.
Yeah.
That's all you can do.
Or you could be lucky like me and just have you a one that's going to wake up with
We're not talking about yours individually. We're talking about women and the rights too. So let's stay with me.
Right.
We're not talking about your woman.
Right.
What I'm saying is that, nigga, like, at the end of the day,
a woman wants to be sleep,
if your woman is like, nigga, I don't feel good.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to go to bed.
You don't get to slap her, nigga, and be like, nigga, I'm a man. I'm your husband.
Right.
And I demand you.
No.
Well, nigga, until the 60s, nigga, you could do that.
Oh, well, yeah.
So when you take all this in consideration,
go to bed,
you take all this in consideration, women, right, have passed a lot of this trauma down on.
Right.
Like, and it makes sense now. Like, because I be thinking about that shit, fam. Like, why? Because when I be thinking about it, like, what am I ever going to really get married? Am I really trying to marry somebody? It's a different woman, and the game has changed from when we were coming up as a kids. It was already changing, but from our forefathers, men before us. You had to get married. You had to be a family man. You had to do this. That's what it was supposed to do. But you got to be the king of your castle and rule it however the fuck you wanted to, and nobody judged you.
Right.
So there's a lot of shitty men that took a lot of their trauma out on kids, especially in the minority.
Well, nah, you know what?
Especially in minority community, because a lot of black men had to go be treated like a boy 18, 16 hours a day, spat on, treated like shit. The only person you can't boss around is your wife and kids. Right. It made you a hardened person. It took the affection out of you. I don't feel like a man when I got to go out here into this white world and be treated like a fucking next to a dog and then come home. Like, man, I had an older dude tell me, he's like, you can't be mad at these young sisters. They come from women that used to be able to be raped in front of their husbands. No other race of people in this country can literally lay claim to that. Right now, today, if you're a woman of color or a woman in a hip-hop dynamic, you're dating a man of color. How much credence do you put on his ability to protect you in a world where, nigga, he's public enemy number one to the police? He can get shot by having a legal gun. Most women that date us don't even want us to have a legal gun.
Right.
Because you see what happened when you try to show the cop.
You gonna
like,
get...
I got a legal gun in here. And then he just shoots you and get away with it.
Empty a whole clip into your ass.
It's a fucked up thing. It's like the whole bunch of dynamics that's at play. And it makes sense if we really like pull the layers back. You know what I mean? That's why I was telling my friend, like, bro, we really got to like reconstruct how we date, because that's not our culture. It's not our culture truly to walk down that aisle and say I do to one woman. Right. Like, nigga, if you look at everybody that looked like us in history before the European invasion, they had several fucking wives.
We had them.
They had several fucking wives. And what's the stereotype about us now?
Pimps.
Players. Multiple women. Right? Not faithful.
But that's part.
How do you know that's not in our genetic DNA coding?
Yeah,
and when people, just like being fly is, just like being athletic is, just like singing and dancing and all this other rhythmic shit that people claim that we got from Africa and our ancestral past, but you don't want to give credit or credence to the fact that, hey man, maybe, just maybe, polygamy, hey man, maybe that's not a bad thing. That's what it was about. Right? Maybe that's what it's about. Like, when you look at the divorce rate, because guess what? Sometimes you're on and sometimes you're off.
Hey, there's going to be females that hate us for this episode.
Or agree with us. Sometimes you're on and sometimes you're off. We're going to have
both sides.
Now, true polygamy is this, though. It ain't one-sided. You know what I mean? It ain't one-sided. True polygamy is like, yo, well.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
It is.
But
man has many women to only have each other.
Right. That's fair. But that's not all the way true either. That's just what's highlighted, because there's great queens, nigga, of Nubia and Kemet and ancient Egypt that had multiple husbands, that served multiple purposes. Do you know what I'm saying? And a lot of times it was political control. If I'm involved with the general of my armies and the head of my political house, and like the economic fracture, I can kind of like wage control and kind of like keep my hand. You know what I'm saying? When I look at our people and like the negatives about us when we dating and shit like that, from dating like cross-racially or dating each other, sometimes we're a handful, because I think that we're literally trying to do something that was forced on our slaves or on our ancestors and then indoctrinated into us that's not natural. It just might not be natural for us to do that.
Right.
Because how many of us, and there's anomalies. There's motherfuckers that, I know motherfuckers that have been dating since the 8th grade, fam. Happy, boom, whatever, God bless them. But we all know somebody like that, but how often is that? Like, we all know one or two, right?
That shit's rare as fuck.
Rare as fuck.
We see somebody who was high school sweethearts that we saw going to school where we went to school.
We don't hate. You see them and you be happy like, damn,
as
that's
fuck.
dope.
Like, damn, y'all really been rocking this long.
I remember y'all niggas to be about to lock it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now y'all got little kids and
I remember when we used to think y'all wasn't going to make it.
I remember it was Rocky, boy.
I remember when we got to the wedding, was like they really
made this.
Damn, like.
So.
That shit is an anomaly.
I feel like this. It's a blessing if you could do that.
That shit's like the Matrix anomaly in Neo.
I think that most people in society, honestly, fam, would do better off in a somewhat polygamous relationship.
I don't know, because ain't nobody else gonna be fucking my girlfriend.
And that's why you probably, nigga, you
Not
just said,
part of
but
that.
y'all going smooth.
Yeah.
You're not in here complaining about your
Right.
situation.
Right.
Like, I'm talking about the ones that like, and look, it's some cats, it's all about evolution of relationship, fam, to me. I'm just speaking from a legality aspect and a cultural that's forced on us.
Right.
Like, it's illegal for you to have, you know what I'm saying, unless you claim religion and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
you gotta be
You know what I mean? And
Mormon
that
or
was
some
a struggle
shit.
to get to that point, and maybe one day to get to the point where, hey, man, if I have 5 women and I'm like, let's say
Who
I'm
are
worth,
willing to do it.
let's say I'm worth $50 million.
Right. Right.
Your boy worth 50 M's.
Right.
And I, you know, I'm dating, I'm intermingling with like 5 women around the world.
And I feel like
Right?
they all just
And I'm like, damn, man, I could see all of them being great mothers. I could see all of them really holding the house down and living and giving a loving environment. I don't know who to choose, and I don't really want to choose. Mm-hmm. So do I, one, not have any children, continue to date these women, right? That, you know where that's going to end, right? Or do I sit them down and individually and collectively and say, hey, you all know that I'm not exclusively dating either one of you, but our time together is great. I treat you all great. You all were kind of somewhat hoping that I would, you know, that I would, you know, be dating, you know, I would settle down. But hey, what if we did it this way?
What if I settle down with all of you at once?
Not even that. What if I literally like, hey man, I want to have kids. I want to leave a legacy. I want to have a lot of kids. This is gonna sound misogynistic as shit and crazy, but I just need people to follow me. There's a lot of beautiful type women, and if you're that type of dude, you might deal with a certain type of woman, right? That man, they might cut you off at 1 or 2 kids. You're not fucking up my body.
Right.
You're not, I ain't about
You
to be
lucky
doing
to
all
get
that.
you might be lucky to get the
Right.
one.
I love you to give you these motherfuckers, right?
Right.
Or maybe the one. Mm-hmm. So what if you say, okay, hold that. That's all you can offer me? If that's all you can offer the tribe in the village,
I got over here too.
come forth.
Right.
But shorty over here in Virginia and shorty down here in Texas, they're a little bit more, you know, I'm getting 3 over here, 4 over here.
Yeah.
Now
I got 9.
I'm describing a real ass situation, fam.
No, you are.
Now, no, I'm talking about something that really is happening right now, and I'm about to name who's doing this.
Who?
Nick Cannon.
Nick Cannon.
Motherfucking Nick.
Nick Cannon is doing that shit right
Sniper God.
now.
Nick Cannon, and it makes sense as him. If you
It
know,
does. It does.
if you know, it makes sense as the God Nick. But nigga, Nick Cannon right now has a series of beautiful women. Right?
He planned kids with all of them.
Beautiful women that are like motto-esque in beauty. Like they could be doing whatever. That he's dated, had relationships with at one point in time, and realized like, they will be great mothers. And if they have someone to, you know, back them financially and their goals and their endeavors, they could really be they would flourish. And I'm that somebody.
Nick's a smart
The only
nigga.
thing is I, because of the unique lifestyle that I've had, where beautiful women have thrown themselves at me since I was a little boy, since I've been richer than all my peers since I was a kid, right? I'm pulled many ways. I married my high school, my childhood dream girl.
Right, yeah. How many niggas get to say
her.
they do that?
Had twins with her.
Yeah, put babies in her.
Right? So I've done all these things. Now, what I want to do is I want to fertilize the earth. I want to have seeds. Mm-hmm. I want my seeds to have family.
Soil the oats.
I'm going deeper. Nick's first 2 children with Mariah, he might look at their exclusivity of life and be like, yo, let me have some babies with some normal-ass women so that they can have a little normality. They can have a brother's house to go to where paparazzi ain't hanging out outside.
Yeah, dead ass, right.
And I'm just putting on Nick's hat, pause. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like what he might be thinking.
Right.
If I had those type of resources. And if I had the intestinal fortitude, right, and the confidence in myself and the realness to be like, yo,
I'm doing this.
I love you. We're never getting married and doing the Will and Jada thing. But what about this?
Right.
Will you always be in my life?
Right.
we'll always be in each other's lives at this point.
Yeah, we always have a connection
And
a
we're
bond.
grown. If we want to take a romantic weekend, we can do that.
We can do all right.
Right? He's not asking these women to come to the house and have sex with him all at once or to come outside of themselves. Now, you know how niggas think, hey, the shit go down one time on a family trip.
Shit
hey,
go
nigga,
down one time on a family trip.
Go down one time on a family trip. But
hey, how hard would that be though? Like if you had like a few of them, and then your family trips is you like rent out a whole floor of rooms and shit. You got them all there for a week. You just one night smack that one, next night smacking it, and then the last night you might smack them all at once.
Well, let me go one deeper. Pause. Let me go one deeper.
I'm fucked up because of thinking like
pause.
that.
No,
though.
you're not. You're not. That's the dog in you. Roof, roof, roof. Because I thought that too.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, just keeping it on the level of what
Christmas
Nick is
would be way
doing,
different.
Keeping it on the level of what Nick is doing and
Right.
why it would work, why it's working for him. Because I'm seeing each woman have a baby in succession, and they're all fucking crying and happy for her. Oh my God, girl, he's so beautiful. And then Nick's taking the pictures with him individually with the girl, and like she's happy that he looks happy, the babies look healthy. I'm like, yo, that's beautiful.
Right.
That looks more in line. People gonna try to kill me. I'm a single man with no children. I'm just saying that looks more in line. It looks it looks natural.
Right.
Because one thing I've learned, and you can look, dog fam, you're gonna vouch for this.
Mm-hmm.
A good man can have women with have children with multiple women, and they will become friends with each other. They will become friendly to an extent. Women that hated each other and wanted to kill each other, once that baby comes and their baby has a sister or a brother, and they hear that name a couple times, and they realize that he does things that their kid did, and oh my God. Women are forgiving and very mature and can deal with layered situations, right? That's why a majority of those type of polygamous relationships back in our ancient past were male dominant. But but there were certain women that were of certain stature that allowed them to be in the same position.
Right.
And all I'm saying is, fam, when I'm looking at these women, I'm like, bro, the shit is designed for them to compete for Nick.
Right.
They all get to have them.
Yeah.
Nigga, they all getting rollies and shit for Christmas. They all driving the car that they wanted.
Right.
All the little so-called groupie shit that you would put on some of these women for dating a person like that. Because God forbid if you're wealthy, a girl likes you. Right?
Right.
We always gonna think the bitch is with you for her money. Excuse my language.
That's real, yeah.
That's just unfortunate. That's just what it is. Right?
Unless they're already famous and rich
Unless
too.
you can prove you was with that nigga when he was broke. We be like, oh, of course she like that. Oh, that nigga dry. Okay. Oh, yeah, he do that. Okay, I get it.
Rolly iced out.
We always
bust
gonna
down.
see. Unfortunately, we foul. We always gonna go that route.
Yeah,
right?
that's just society.
This is what
though.
it is.
That's society.
Society. Nigga, that young girl might like that old nigga. We don't believe it, right?
Oh yeah.
He got bread. So all I'm saying is that when you factor that in, you alleviate that. And I'll be wondering. I would love to see how that conversation with, like, if he had the financial team with him and they was like, yo, this is what we're proposing. This is what you're going to get out. Because you got to understand, having a baby with Nick comes with a house and a car.
Yeah, it comes with a lot.
Like, that's just a starter pack, right?
Right.
A
the
nice
starter
house and a
pack.
nice car, right? Like, I'm just saying,
That's
fam,
the Nick
like,
Carter starter.
come on,
the Nick
dog,
Cannon
like,
starter pack.
So far,
a house,
like,
a car, rolling.
Don't quote me, but so far it's like 4, almost 5 women. Fam. He's had like 7 babies in like
6 months.
6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when we talked about it, our first initiation was like, oh shit, I hope he's okay. But by all accounts,
he's doing this on purpose.
He's fine.
He
nigga.
said
like,
he's doing it on
he's
purpose.
doing it on
He's like, I
purpose.
planned
and
all this.
He's looking at his age and he's looking at where he is in his career, and it's like,
Right.
yo, I'm about to be in a situation on some bullshit to where I'm gonna have some time. I ain't gonna be doing the grind and shit every day. All I gotta do is wake up, maintain the ship. Yeah, let me go ahead and get these boys ready, because think about it. I mean, it could be something simple, like he could be looking at LeVar Ball and be like, nigga, I want to do that.
Right.
Oh, let me get like
That's
5,
real,
6
yeah,
kids,
right.
nigga, and see if I can make them something. Like, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, you looking at all these other niggas, like, so I just, as a person that don't have kids yet, but I'm not anti-kid. Like, I want children.
Do you?
Eventually, yeah.
I've always wondered that about you.
But I had older parents.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
like, that's why, really, I think that's just natural. Like, I think that happens, like, psychologically. It ain't even like it's not even as deep as people think, right? But, like, I swear to you, man, I was thinking to myself like the other day, I was like, man, well, if I had the money, that's why I started this off. If I had 50 M's at least.
Oh, nigga, if I had that much money, I'd probably
Could I
have.
go?
I
And
got.
Nick has way more than that.
I
I'm
got.
just saying,
I
if
got.
I had
I got.
50 M's.
I got 5 kids at this point we're talking about having this conversation. If I have 50, if I have 50 M's,
Mo, what up?
I probably have like 6, 7 more kids.
So that's what I'm saying. So like, think about
Like
it.
it wouldn't even think I'll be just knocking them out. Like I love my 5. And the only thing that really holds me back from having more and shit is just financial and shit.
Right.
Like if I had the finances, I could buy
expensive.
the house as big as I need for all these kids and had a yard for all of them. Nigga, I don't give
Or
a
the
nigga.
logistics. This is what I was arguing with a friend. I'm like, fam, he has the money for the
Right.
Nick is not going to Southwest or Delta.
No.
He's chartering that thing up.
Right.
And hey yo, I'm going to pick up. I'm stopping by here to pick up this kid, and then the other 2 kids gonna meet us. I already sent them, and we going to their brother's soccer game.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to their brother's or sister's graduation. We're going to their brother or sister's birthday party.
Or we're going to Disneyland.
Fam, Nick Cannon could do that during a week. Nigga, kid missed maybe what, 1 day of school?
Yep.
Like, you ain't going to school today. You're flying on the East Coast with me because your brother and your sister, it's their birthday this month, and we're going here. Like, it's just, what do you mean?
Right.
And then he's going to have a house big enough for all of them. Everybody got a room.
Of course.
Everybody got a room. Everybody got a room. Everybody's going to be I was looking at little Bootsy and shit. He got hella kids. He was like,
all his kids got room.
And all of them get nice-ass cars when they graduate.
Right.
All of them get the same shit. And so Nick is looking at that like, instead of going through but Nick, you hear Bootsy's drama with his baby mothers. He had to do that the hard way.
Right.
What if he'd have had the opportunity? You mess with these women, right? You doing your thing. To just sit them all down, right? And say, hey, this is what it is. This is how my life is looking moving forward. What I need you to do is take this in consideration. I'm not disrespecting any of you. You all knew that none of us was exclusive. Because it don't work if one female thought she was your main. You know what I'm saying? They all know that you messing with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? They all know that they don't have you. It's their time with you. They have a good time, all that. And if you proposition them, because I'm sure some women was like, no. But the ones that said, yeah, seem dope as fuck, and they seem like they're on this, they seem happy.
There might not. I don't even know if there's that many that said no.
Fam, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, see? Yeah, I mean, there was that's what we were saying earlier. It was intentions behind some of the pregnancies. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, we think he did that for a reason. Excluding health. I thought originally it was health, but I don't think it's health related. He's just chilling. It's just something that he thought about doing. He might be in a situation where it's simple as, I don't want to be a parent at a certain age. I want to be,
done having kids by this
age.
or
by the time my kids are a certain age, I want to be this age.
Old, right.
Like, you know what I mean? Some people,
I'll still be here by the time they've all grown up.
By the time they took them into manhood, I could be here to give them some advice. You know what I'm saying? Set them up. So, I don't know. I just thought that was interesting because it goes in line with what I was thinking. Fam, there's a lot of females out here, man, that, especially from a certain culture, they players. Right. They naturally players, bro. They just like men. They like, I got a dude over here that take care of this need. I got a man over here that take care of this need. And if it's 2, 5, or 3, it don't matter. It is what it is, right? These women aren't hoes. These women aren't like pieces of shit. Some of these women are some of the most successful women on earth.
Right.
So what if it's because we're from a culture, majority of us are from indigenous cultures, where it's like, fam, who said you only get to have one wife?
Right.
Fam, I know for a fact that I know several groups of women that are best friends. Now, I'm not going to say several. That might be a little too much. But I know different groups of women, right, that are best friends. That one of them got a dude. They've messed around before.
They've had
the 3 of them, right? Because she called her homegirl, like she called her bitch, like, girl, it's his birthday, we're going to do this. And remember how I told you how you put it down, right? She wanted to share it with her girl. It ain't no fun if the homies can't have none. It's just in reverse.
It's just reverse,
right?
yeah.
So she does that. Fam, what if they liked it and it was just a vibe and it was like, you know what? Your girl's having a hard time finding a replication of who I am to you in your life.
Right.
How about I be that for both of y'all?
They got the throuple now.
Y'all best friends. Y'all kick it. Y'all already, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that shit's a dream of dreams, nigga.
Fam.
And I know it happens. It's not a big anomaly. That shit don't just happen like that. Nigga, please.
I'm just
That
saying.
shit is not happening like that.
I'm just saying.
It happens like that if you got bread.
No, listen to me. That's you right. Everything you're saying is right. The reason why I'm thinking that it doesn't happen often,
yeah,
is because culturally it's an anomaly.
Mm-hmm.
It's against the grain of what we've been indoctrinated to.
And a lot of
telling
female.
you, let's look at who decided that man and woman, one union.
But it's also
was the
it would also be a lot of women in competition with each other.
I don't explain that.
I mean,
I think it'd be more men in competition with each other.
No, yeah, of course. That's obvious. God damn.
You all right, my guy? Hit that knee, huh?
Hell yeah, that's obvious given though. But I feel like women in that situation are gonna feel just in competition because it's the territorial thing.
Well, see, that's where I think the misnomer comes in. It's territorial because of the way our social construct is set up. Is that she has to be the woman of the ship?
Right.
She has. You got women fighting. That's what I'm saying. If he did it a different way, all 5 some odd beautiful women would be fighting for Nick. And instead, they all get to have just as much as him as they pretty much probably want.
Right.
Most women aren't fucking clingy to their man like that.
No.
Once they know that they got you and you're their man, and they trust you, nigga, you can go golf, nigga, for 2 weeks and all the fucking they care. I don't care as long as their needs are kept.
Right.
Like, especially if you got, like, financial situations where they don't have to go out there and do no heavy lifting financially. Fam, if you can literally just buy a house, buy a car, they know that kid has no financial worries ever.
Right.
You're going to get the leeway of, nigga, like, yeah, bro, like, you going where? Oh, to the whole series? Or you going to the whole Buck Sun series? You're just going to be flying back from Phoenix to – that's so boring. Have fun. Like,
right.
They'll be telling their homegirl, like, girl, he's in Milwaukee. Like, you know what I mean? Like, nigga, you want to go shopping? Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Let's go do lunch.
Right.
Nigga. Let's take the kids on a play date. Like, if they got – you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying just material shit. Like, it ain't just material shit. But what happens is for the conversation we having, do you feel me? This shit, it works when you got money.
Right.
Because the logistics add up. You know what I mean? A regular nigga might, what if your car break down? Now you're using one of your baby mama's car to pick up the other kid and do all this shit. They might not like that.
They're
now,
not,
all these little clashing things. But if you looking at all 5 women and you hitting them with the Oprah, you get a home. You get a home. You get a home.
Well, I can just tell you from personal experience that when it's like
here's a nanny,
two different baby mamas, 2 different kids, like it probably took, and I could tell it took my first baby mama to get used to the fact of my son.
Oh, of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
I mean, having to go get him and do all that shit, but once she bonded with my son and like it was like she'd do whatever for him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
She's
like,
just one of the kids.
Right. And then, but, I mean, it must be nice. I'm going to say that.
The financial aspect of it.
Nah, but it just must be nice to be able to, like, put that play into motion.
Oh, of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Of course, but this is what I'm saying. You already somewhat have that play into motion in your own personal life, fam. Right. What's missing is the excess of $100+ million. Right. To where it's just like, yo, I want the kids to live logistically close. Of my baby mamas, like, kick it. No, that's my point. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, fam, that's what I'm saying. Is that because of that, you could.
facilitated that because they never talked and kicked
How
it
about you sit
before
down?
that. Huh?
How about you sit down? So?
Hold on, I want to show them what I'm doing right now.
Oh.
This shit look a little. I don't like this little thing.
Yeah, it look wild.
Right.
But I give you 75 mil, a jet. You take all of those women and buy them a home. Don't even have to be their dream home.
Nah, but here's
just
the
a
thing.
nice home where they're comfortable.
They weren't enemies or anything. They knew each other prior.
That's not my point.
But no, I'm telling you the story.
Let's assume that they're not enemies.
On the mic real quick. Let me finish my story real quick.
This wasn't the same story, but go ahead.
No. It was. You told me to get back to sit here, but I was telling you a story about
I'm just saying that because you was talking off mic.
I made them have a friendship
off camera.
They knew each other from they used to go to school as kids or something.
Right.
They now have a friendship, and I feel like I guess it's egotistical to think like this. I'm not trying to be egotistical, but really, I brought a friendship together.
It's facts. Like they wouldn't be friends, and they wouldn't share the bond they have. Now take that mentality. Now say the disgruntled one, right? Mm-hmm. Now factor in the 75 million. We don't got to be best friends. You don't have to like me as much as you did when you laid with me and created a child, right? And this would be like the natural way of doing it, like the way of or the more organic way of not sitting them down and pre-ordering it, right? Or pre-arranging it. Right. So just taking off what you were saying from using your situation, I go put 75 million in your account. Now, that put a private jet next to your name, right? Now, in a mansion to where everyone can come for the holidays, birthdays, and everything, and be out of each other's hairs. Yep. So all 3 baby moms could be away from each other. They all got master bedrooms, nigga. Yep. They all got suites, they're around the kids. Everything goes, right?
Nobody can complain. Somebody's got a better room than the other.
None of that shit. Nigga, there's cars, right? Matter of fact, when they stay at your house, everybody's being chauffeured. Yep. Right? Now.
Or you all got a same SUV. We each get
one. There's a driver. Where everybody get in a Tahoe. You ain't even driving. Nigga, just relax. Lean back, or the Sprinter van. Everybody just lean back, watches your little show, chill with your kids, nigga, until we get to the restaurant, or to the theme park, or to the camping site, or wherever the fuck we going, where we all got to be together. The funeral, God forbid, right? Well, your same situation, and where it's like these two are great, that one might be a little headache every once in a while. That headache, she's just staying on the top floor. Her room when she's in town is just on the top floor. And because of the nuance, when she sees everybody else loving and shit, including her kid, it's hard to not, especially if it gets to a point where it's like, well, I'm not going to have him. They don't have him either. They not tripping. Right. Now, that's the key. They not tripping, right? Mm-hmm. So we know that women are capable of all having children by the same men, being around each other. You can't have kids without fucking each other, fam. Right. What's the problem with men? That nigga fuck my bitch. Yeah. Oh, hell no, man. He fucked my girl. Even if it's your ex, like, oh, nigga, okay, nigga, you fucking with him. Egotistical. So when women let go of their ego and they don't have that ego involved, right, because children are born, I'm like, dog, how can you say that it's more natural to not be, you know what I'm saying?
With every one of them and everybody be with each other.
You're practically, technically, if I say, here, man, go to 75 mil, you would be doing that. You would go buy you go build a new house. You'll fly, nigga. You go knock on a new house. You have all them in mind to where, okay, when she come, they cool together so they could be on this floor where they can kind of mingle with each other. She'll have access to all that if she wants to, but she'll be staying up there just in case she's in one of her moods. She can go up there and not be bothering me and my lady or any of my children's mothers, right? Right. Fam, if I give you the money, you're doing that now because as soon as you go get you a new chick, i.e. your lady, marry her or have a child with her, whatever, right, it all falls into line from there. Mm-hmm. And then guess where everybody going to be for your birthday party, your birthday bash? They all showing up right, with gifts and everybody got their little stories and hugs and like pictures going to look great. How's that any different from what Nick is doing? Right. The only thing Nick was smart and kind of had the foresight to do is say, yo, I'm going to sit these cats down. And I'm assuming contracts and shit came with that. Mm-hmm.
NDAs and shit.
I'm assuming that. I'm assuming you can't wait tomorrow and be like, no, I want this and I want that because I'm his baby mom, and that alleviates all that. See, because now you and Tori balling, you got the 75M. My bad, I don't mean to say sis name on, but y'all, you doing your thing, and you got the 75M. Now they all straight, but Bootsy talks about this all the time. The more he goes up, and whoever he's with, they be like, nigga, bring us up there too. Oh, you just bought your new girl a Bentley truck. Where's ours? Right? He alleviates that in the fact that everybody come in together. This is what it is. We all know what it is. Everybody's going to be more than comfortable. I'm not promising you an exquisite life of stardom. I'm not promising you're going to be a co-host on one of my shows or anything like, you know what I'm saying? It's deep, man. Ladies, men, think about it. Maybe we should change the way we date.
Ladies, stop shitting on men. Relax.
He said we sensitive too.
Fuck you.
I'm just saying, nigga. That's what
Why
we all
gotta be sensitive.
I ain't say you. I said we, nigga. I said I'm talking about people. You know what I'm saying?
Like, it ain't that serious. Like, we all ain't out here to fuck you. We all want to fuck. All of us. But that's that's all sex.
That's human.
That's human.
I mean, animals get their loving on.
Right.
So that's all human, you know. I think it's too much. It's a lot that goes into that.
I feel bad
but
for
we
people.
Can't have
I'm
it
gonna
both
keep
ways.
this a million. I feel bad for men and women right now that are dating. The dating game is a war zone, bruh.
You think so?
Hell yeah, bro.
You mean like trying to find somebody to date with? Oh, okay.
Dating game, not when you got somebody, not when you're already exclusive talking and like going on dates. Finding somebody, getting to know, that shit is a war zone. It's tug of war. It's a boxing match. I equate it to a 12-round boxing match.
Hell, you have no idea, and especially in the sin,
bro.
We in the motherfucking sin, nigga. Like,
straight up.
What are you talking about?
I feel like it's a 12-round boxing match, bro, between men and women, and it's on both sides. Both sides having the hardest time dating each other. Yeah. You guys are going. The fucked up part about it is you guys are fighting each other so hard to the same goal.
Hey, the funny thing is there's no like. It's too much uniformity in dating.
Right? Oh my god.
Women play the same. The same.
Okay, let's say this. Okay.
Hold on, let me finish my statement.
My bad, go ahead.
Women play the same playbook dating wise nigga nowadays as men, and it goes back to what I was saying earlier, fam. I've thought long and hard about this. Women grew up listening to E40, Sugar Free, nigga, Jay-Z, nigga, all these niggas too. And they have that kind of counter like mentality. Like women get at niggas in situations, they come at that motherfucker like a pimp, nigga, like a player. Like, oh, this nigga got bread, nigga, I'm gonna get him for it because he likes me and he thinks he's gonna hit.
It's just so crazy that a woman be like, all right, a woman to tell you that I gotta get to know you, right?
I gotta get to know you.
But let's be real. Like, how long does it take you to really know a person you're with?
I mean, shit. Sometimes, like, getting to know a nigga is just like, let me make sure you wash your nuts before I give you some pussy.
But I get that. But I feel like most females, by get to know you, they, like, really want to know you. But essentially, you don't really know somebody at least 6 months to a year. Because all types of shit could just start
I guess
once a motherfucker gets comfortable, you start really seeing.
It depends.
If there was certain shit in the closet that they weren't showing,
what if that person it depends on how you met too, though.
But here's what I'm saying: if they have some type of skeleton in the closet, if they have something that they're hiding, if they have some ulterior motive, they're not gonna show it in the beginning. Some motherfuckers, the ones that don't know how to show.
Wait, are you talking about waiting to get to know you to like before dating someone or before becoming physical?
No, dating. Somebody.
Okay, yeah, like that makes sense.
Dating someone.
But you know what?
Because essentially,
we don't. That's because motherfuckers don't date no more. We don't date right.
That is okay. I really do feel that too, because I don't feel like I really took women on dates and shit.
So
till I was like,
you remember the term 29. Going steady?
Yeah.
Old school term. We don't really use that. My grandfather, God bless him, man, once told me, I was young and I thought it was a silly conversation, but never left my head. He said, you young people don't know anything about dating anymore. Now, I was 8. Why would you have that conversation with me? I
Courting
wasn't dating
a woman.
anybody.
You don't know nothing about
Right?
courting a woman.
So it starts with courting.
Shit. Yeah.
It starts with courting. The courtship starts like, hey, hey, Tasha, you're cute, man. I think we should go to the movies one day.
Right.
Tasha says you're cute too, so let's go to the movies. Take me out.
Right.
Me and Tasha go to the movies. We had a good time at the movies. So, hey, Tasha, we should do this again. Right? At that moment, we're dating. We're going on dates. I courted her. We went through the courtship of each other. And now we went to the next stage, which is dating. We go on dates. Going steady is what we call dating.
Right.
Going steady is we've already went through this. But what my grandfather told me is, now remember, dating means dating. She's not a whore, and don't you dare treat her like one. Mm-hmm. If you go to the movies next weekend and she's at the movies on a date with someone else, she's dating.
Right.
Once she decides to go steady with you, now you got a problem if you see her at the movie somewhere. We're excluded. What do you mean? Then you go from going steady with this woman to what would be the next step?
Marriage?
Engagement.
Engagement, yeah.
Right? You're going steady. Engagement is when a lot of people moved in with each other.
But right? Okay.
And then from engagement to marriage. If you followed that, and then like what he was saying, nigga, I was years when I put this shit together. Do you know how long you've been involved with that person? You know the evolutions that you've seen them go through? Like, but it's time. But we don't do that, man. Everything.
But let's keep it real.
Dial.
But hold on. But let's keep it real too, because love at first sight does definitely exist. I feel like love. Honestly, I feel like love could strike at any time, and I feel like you love somebody. I feel like loving somebody comes at all different speeds.
Well, that's my point.
You know what I'm saying?
That's my point. I do believe that you can see someone and have an infinite connection with them upon the first time seeing them.
Or let's not say love at first sight.
That's why I didn't. I said an infinite connection.
Let's say love at first, like real conversation kicking is where you're just like,
look. What I'm saying,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to explain is that, like, in my opinion, I would describe it as this:
infatuation. You can have infatuation at first sight. Let's say that.
No, you can have a connection with someone at first meeting them, right? It doesn't even have to be a formal introduction. Like, I've dated women that I've seen from across the room and thought, like, she is fucking beautiful. Nigga, who is that? And never thought two things about it. And then, like, the universe happened, and, like, a month or a week later, I'm at the mall getting something and bump into her. Like, and then we're like, oh, shit, I remember I seen you at the – that's happened. So there's other women that you would see that's attractive, and you don't remember them by the time you go get your drink. Right. Or by the time you make it to the car. Right. Or definitely not the next day you wake up.
Do you know what's crazy?
Right? But so I do believe, that there is a connection that people have, and that whether you call that love at first sight,
let's say what you're saying. Let's say connection.
If it
at
happens,
first sight.
That's what I'm saying. But if it happens to develop into something,
right,
then you can say that was love at first sight.
Right.
You know
okay. I like how you explain it. I do. Connection at first sight turns into something you can now classify it as love at first sight. Okay.
But it would be like in hindsight.
Right, yeah. It would be a hindsight in 20 years.
That's why I think them old heads that be like, man, I knew. Sight. Yeah. I knew. That's why they can tell you the moment.
Yeah.
Because they be like, you know what, honestly, I remember when I first seen her. That's what they're talking. That's when it all first happened for them. But they didn't love her then. Like, you know what I'm saying? They ain't know her. She just kept like surprising them.
Right.
Or kept not disappointing them. You know what I'm saying?
I've been with,
in my opinion,
Tori for a long time, right?
Right.
So like the other day, you've been with people for a long time, so you're gonna know exactly what I'm saying right now. I was looking at her in the kitchen. She's got her makeup on and everything. She dressed like not dressed, but she she's dressed how she dressed normally. And I'm just looking at her. I'm like, and Tori's always had ass, but it's just one of them days. I was like.
She had the right pants on.
I just forgot how well built she was.
Like yeah, man. Like I forgot my girl was right in here.
I was like, you just. sometimes I realize
appreciating
sometimes
her.
I took for granted like she's cute as fuck. Like if she
No, you
like,
do that.
I mean,
That's-
she's cute without makeup, but when she
No,
like
but-
get her makeup and like,
Yeah,
she's
you,
like, you be
yeah,
like,
I feel
damn,
you,
all
fam.
right,
I think
thick
that
ass.
like I think those are the best relationships where you make it through those times. Where it's like, yeah, man, like I know you bad, so you know what I'm saying. Like we like each other, we're attracted to each other. Okay, like we're past that. You know what I mean? Sometimes you can get caught in just being like comfortable with each other, and like on the grind where you forget that nigga y'all was attracted to each other first.
Right.
So it do happen. You know what I mean? It's dope that I'm sure she would appreciate that you realized that. Like, I mean, that's dope that she didn't have to tell you.
Right.
She didn't have to write you a note or like
exactly.
set you up like, oh, you don't pay attention to me. Like, you know what I mean? It wasn't no shit like that.
I do. I mean, nah, of course I do. Like like nigga, I'm like I would hate if I ever just got to the point of just in passing. I don't ever just
Oh, nigga,
acknowledge it.
let's talk about something.
What?
That's your water?
It's not. It's old.
Like too old for you to drink?
Not really. Why?
Hand me that cup, man.
What is that?
Don't ask no questions on there, because now you got me snitching. That's a form of snitching, nigga. No, I'm playing. Look, you got me explaining what we doing to the world. World. Well, I forgot, man. I stopped by, man, because I was like, we can't blow in there. Them days is over. So I needed to. So let me get my guy right real quick. Let me get something. Get me right.
Man, roll some. I don't give a fuck at this point.
Oh, see, it's too now. Niggas like.
We still got topics to go over. We can spend an hour or something on just.
I know. I'm just saying. But now all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? When it's hot as shit.
The only reason you so fucking hot is because all that hair, man. I only say that because I'm jealous.
No,
but
I'm just saying.
You...
No. Hey, I can't even take that. Nigga, it's hot as shit. I don't care. Nigga, bald head. You know
my
damn
bald
well.
head don't matter. That
It
shit
don't
be
matter
sweating.
nothing.
What the fuck is this?
Man, you good, bro. Don't. I ain't right here just in case you do want to know.
Oh, okay, nah. It's got cool little.
You see that shit? Look.
The tinker.
That 300.
Oh, fuck.
You can drop some on your
I'm just glad it tastes
really
good.
take it to the next level.
That shit smell good as fuck.
It's peach.
But
Shout out to Las Vegas Cannabis.
you know what's cool?
Give us a sponsor, you know. We'd really get it popping.
So he's been having conversation. Motherfuckers need to be more personal. I'm about to be personal. I've been with her almost 2 years. Nigga, the sex still good.
As it should. I mean,
You know, sometimes
That's
you've
dope.
been where you've gotten bored with
Yeah,
somebody
that's dope.
that you just wasn't supposed to be with, and you're just your whole body is just telling you like
this ain't
this
it.
ain't it. To somebody else, this is gonna be fire.
Right. No, of course.
So let
right.
them let them get the fire. Let them get what to them would be amazing.
Right.
And it's not to say that it wasn't amazing to me at one point.
I think that's what the difference between like, in my opinion, sex only lasts like in terms of like. Well, no, I can't say that either because there is just some connections you have with people where, you know, y'all just have good sex chemistry. You feel me? But in relationships, man, I just think that like when the sex is still spicy and still really intimate and tasty like that, it's because you fuck with each other. The vibe is still good. You know what I'm saying? Like the vibe. I get it. Like nigga, the vibe is still Gucci. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm not speaking about your personal situation, nigga, 'cause I don't know. I'm just saying. Sometimes some women go out, you know, they spicy. They'll keep it spicy. Some women are better at like keeping shit spicy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Whereas other women ain't. I mean, the other women probably, and it's the difference between like, in my opinion, in my experiences, some women like aren't sexually timid, and some are. Some because when you first start dating them, you were courting them. You were, you know, trying to get them to that level for the vibe.
Okay, hold on, wait.
It has to remain that way through the remainder of the relationship. And the moment you drop your guard, like, okay, I know what she likes. I know when you feeling away, like, why I always got to be the one to get it started. Sometimes it's how you come in.
Do you
know
know?
what I mean?
Do you know how me and Tori met?
I briefly remember y'all telling me. Y'all told me the story once, both of y'all.
We met on Tinder.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Shit, it
Talked
happens.
for like a couple days.
I said once y'all get married, we gonna get a deal.
She came through, like the first night she got back in town because she was out here visiting her sister.
Okay.
You know, she come to things happen. You know, and she just like never went back home.
Hey, I've had relationships like that. Fam,
And it's been
I've had
good ever
relationships
since.
like that worked. You know what I'm saying? For a long time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now, I'm all about timing. And so, like, y'all are grown.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Grown. So the chances of that being successful are far superior compared to, like, if this happened 10 years ago.
Right.
Yeah, it could still go for a long run, but the sustainability might be different.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Y'all, what do y'all get out of line to each other now, like, at this stage? Like, or trying to impress, or do y'all both were kind of settled in your ways? There's certain shit you're not going to do to impress a female. You know what I'm saying? She's already developed certain standards of what she's not going to do with a dude, or what or allow them to do certain with them. You know what I mean? So it makes it an easier thing. And once again, it goes right back to those old pseudo-European practices that was forced on everybody. That's all I'm saying. And in my opinion, man, I just think that, like, it's something to discuss. I wish we had some married cats in here. You know what I'm saying? To holler at them, like, yo, man, like, what do you think about polygamy? And I don't even like that word because we attach that to, like, some extremist ass, you know, backyard shit. But
No, they attach it to some extremist ass. It's just one of them things that they put a stigma on because, like you said, our ancestry was heavy in that shit.
I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, the thing is, though, when you look at it, a lot of so-called minority people, when you go to, like, the ancient time of their ancestry,
They all did it.
they all were kind of polygamous. Like, they all kind of knew, like,
Shit,
bro.
they had men, and some of these motherfuckers had men and women.
I mean, yeah, some people did. Yeah, that's
Just-
facts. Yeah, that's facts. Just throw it out there. Some people did that. That's true.
If we're talking, it wasn't just all men with all just women. Some of these men had men and women.
Yeah. Yeah, in certain cultures, like the Greek culture and shit like that,
Right.
that was big.
Right. So it's
Um,
not even just to the
but-
black and white man and woman. There was men who had both sides. There was women who had men. Cleopatra. You think the goddess of sex was fucking just no, that's Aphrodite, right?
I think so.
Okay. Do you think the goddess Aphrodite only had men? She's the goddess of fucking sex.
I mean, I've never heard. I mean, yeah, you're right. That's
on.
true with her.
Come
Well, no,
on.
that's true. But I'm saying, no, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
I had to take it.
No, I
from
feel you.
Cleopatra
You
'cause
fucked
she
me up a
wasn't-
little bit. You fucked me
Yeah.
up a little bit. No, I get you.
Think
I get
about
you.
it. You're talking about the goddess
My guy,
of
him again.
sexuality and sex. You don't think she was with all sexes? You don't think she explored all of that?
I know what she didn't. I know that when I go back, especially in, like, we go to our, like, ancient times and even our tribal times and things like that, I just know that walking down the aisle and pledging your fucking entire life
Pledging your allegiance to this person.
and and half of everything you got,
It wasn't always.
that shit ain't never happened.
Well,
fam.
look at. Okay, so look at the. Let's base a lot of shit off that. Look at the price of a diamond. Diamond had no value before they told you were supposed to get as big as one as you can afford to get an
had no
engagement
value
ring.
in the Western world.
In the Western world.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it meant different shit in the other world.
Right. It was used for tools.
Tools.
It's the strongest material.
Statements in terms of garbs and things
Yeah.
like that. Hey,
You weren't
but-
supposed to just be okay. Yeah, you're right. You weren't supposed to just be able in Africa to buy diamonds. Diamonds were kingly and princely and queenly and princessly things. If you had diamonds encrusted
Well, no,
in
the
your
thing is,
crown and shit
everybody
like that.
was so the continent once was so wealthy that if you read Christopher Columbus's scrolls, that's why one of my favorite books by Ivan Serta is They Came Before Columbus. He says they have some of his original text from his scrolls in there, and he was writing to the queen, stating how like basically like these motherfuckers that do what we do
are doing it much better.
have diamonds and fucking jewels on. Like these niggas got gold tipped spears and tools.
And then
shit.
let's keep it real. And let's keep it real. Before De Beers and all the motherfuckers made it important for you to have diamonds in your rings and all that shit, these countries weren't getting fucked up in the diamond trade.
Well, no, I mean it goes deep because you know, like Mansa and Munsa and them, some of this shit is cultural.
Right.
If it's in your culture to wear a bangle, excuse me, you know what I mean, and like things like that, and you come from a culture enriched in diamonds and gold, your bangle might have a little diamond.
No,
on
but
it,
what
you know
I'm
what
talking
saying?
about, what I'm talking about, is the blood diamond rush. That was caused by Western's need.
Yeah, that's colonialism.
For
Yeah, that's
diamonds
no,
at
right.
this point, because
That goes hand in
some
hand with slavery,
fucking
though.
Company, right? Because some fucking company decided, oh, diamonds are what?
Well, let's not talk about let's not talk about some company. We know what companies.
Diamonds are a girl's best friend,
Tiffany
right?
and Co.
Right.
Tiffany and Co.
De Beers.
No, hold on. Tiffany and Co. used to be known and produce the world's greatest slave collars and chains and shackles.
You did tell me that. Yeah.
You gotta understand, like when they go off to do an exhibit, and they're
wanted them
going
to be
back and
flashy
forth,
and
and they're
shit.
going not at all. They're just strong. They just nigga ain't no nigga getting away from this. That Nat Turner shit ain't gonna happen if you got these.
If you
right?
got that Tiffany.
Okay, so now what happens is Tiffany obviously, you know, just use our capitalistic minds. They're growing in like they're the number one slave collar and the number one shackle and all this stuff, right?
Yep.
So it's only right that eventually they make their way to Africa.
Right.
You gotta understand, man. It was a time in Africa little kids were fucking cutting their foot on rare gems.
Yeah, not
That's
even
still
knowing.
going on today.
Right.
You got kids in the Sierra Leone and shit that can't afford a pair of sneakers,
Cutting their foot on a
playing
diamond.
soccer, getting a cut on a fucking rock. That rock happens to be worth $60 million in Paris, $15 million. Like it's crazy. So that's when you start talking about the land of milk and honey.
Yep, you're talking about Africa.
You know, it sounds fruitful.
Let's
that's
talk.
the point.
Do you know what's crazy about Africa? It produces everything. There is somewhere in Africa that produces everything: nuts, oranges, lemons, bananas, diamonds, precious metals.
Right. You know why, though, in my opinion? Because Africa, and I'm glad Jane Elliott said it, because when I said it, I damn near got kicked out of class. My teachers ain't believe me. But it's a much larger continent than Europeans have ever kind of like admitted. Mm-hmm. And it's so untouched.
Yeah.
It's so untouched, bro. There's thousands and thousands, if not millions of acres of land that have been untouched by humans for hundreds, if not thousands of years.
Millions.
There's
There's probably
what
parts
you
of
hear,
it that have never been touched.
right? And you hear this about women a lot. From women a lot. Women are like, oh my God, men and our young boys, they have such beautiful eyelashes, or like strong nail beds, or they'll have all these.
The same.
No,
I
listen.
got strong nails and
So they'll have. But the reason why men have these things is because what do we do to them? Nothing.
Right.
Like from birth, we're not plucking them from birth. We're
We
not
don't
trying to
touch
make them
anything,
curl
right.
a way that they naturally don't curl. We're not putting a chemical on them to make them look fuller.
Yeah.
Like we're not doing any of that. So like, our nails are naturally strong, and like, you know, those are things that happens. But if you go talk to an indigenous, you go to like a place where people are poor in third world, they got stronger feet than people in New York and in Chicago.
They run faster.
I don't know that. I just know that they got stronger feet. And I'm just being, it sounds silly, but I'm being dead ass.
Let's say, okay, not run faster, but they can run longer and have more endurance on their feet than we do.
I mean, I'm just saying that they probably just, I'm not even talking athletics. I'm strictly talking feet. Like, this nigga can walk from there to there barefooted, do this, this, and this. A nigga from the city, a motherfucker from the city, you take their socks off, nigga, they not really walking far.
Bro, hold on. I don't know if it's my next door neighbor or my next door neighbor, but the little white girl that
Is she a
live there,
female with the dog?
you saw her wear her shoes off.
Yeah, I just seen
right?
her, man. I
She
just was
walks
chopping it
out
up with
here
her
at
barefooted.
all times and shit with no shoes. Not the bitch. The girl built different.
The first thing I thought when I seen her,
She's built different.
she said hello, and I was like, hey, what's up? And I noticed that. I'm like, yo, it's hot. It's hot outside. It's different.
Hotter days than that without no shoes.
And she was
walk with no
chilling.
urgency.
She was chilling, like with a big ass dog.
Built different. Her
Built
feet
different.
I'm like, your feet ain't got no feeling. Ain't got no nerves in them motherfuckers. You done burnt them shits off walking out here.
Hey, but no, I've always been amazed at that, fam. Like, even my cousins when I was a kid going down south and shit like that. They used to be out there playing football barefooted and shit. Like,
hell no.
fam, New York didn't build us like that.
I'm stub my toe barefooted on the concrete. Nigga just ripped my toe open.
I think that's the difference, though, fam. Like,
we all done that once. Stubbed our toe and ripped the front of it open completely, nigga. We've all done
I'm straight, bro. Like, I'll be thinking about weird shit like that. Like, fam, what if a nigga attacked me while I was asleep and I was barefooted? Like, I hope I got time to put on my slippers. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just weird shit. I know that shit sound weird, but I'm like, man, I ain't never. I don't do nothing barefoot.
If I'm ever in an emergency,
I'm about to start walking around barefooted, man, to toughen my feet up or something.
If I'm ever like an emergency, like house fire or something, part of me is gonna put my shoes on.
Fam.
I'm not gonna be just.
Because I mean, if you think about it, like, fam, I think. So look, you and your boxers,
Right.
shit go left, nigga. You gotta escape out the house. Them sneaks might save your life, fam. That's how I always look at it. Like, you throwing your uptowns or something, nigga, and hit the roof, you got a better chance of getting off that.
Right.
Fam, do you know how? Think about jumping from the roof barefooted,
nigga.
fam.
Oh. And these shingled ass roofs, you catch your foot on the other side. Yeah, you gonna rip.
You don't want that.
Yeah, no. I gotta
You don't
get at
want
least a
that.
pair of shoes, nigga. I'll be out there in my boxers with no t-shirt, nigga.
What if you
at
out
least
there,
my
right
shoes.
there, nigga, where niggas is cooking eggs on the concrete and you stuck just barefooted, waiting? Like, nah. I remember being a little kid
And
before
where I'm at right now,
before I moved to Reno, man, when I used to live out here.
Yeah.
Like, when I was a kid, man, like, and I don't think I ever got used to this shit, man. Like, but, fam, we used to go to the water park. This is before, like, water shoes and shit like that was a thing, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember niggas used to, like, jet from, like, one side of the park to the next
that
ride
shit be
and shit.
hot.
Fam, come on, man. What she was out there doing, she wild.
Why? Okay.
Nigga, she's
glad
pulling.
somebody else saw
She
that.
pulling a dog that, like, you see how the dog is pulling her. Nigga, she's talking. It's like, hey. I'm like, yo, that's.
Is she cute?
She's not.
I've never
ugly.
really seen her
She's
face.
not an ugly girl. She's not an ugly girl.
I bet her feet.
I was
are,
just
though.
more so looking at. That's what I was thinking.
I don't
like,
mean
ooh.
to talk bad about her because she probably mad cool. She's always said hi to me when I see her.
Yeah, she just said hi. Like she
But
seemed like a sweet girl.
her feet rubbing against you in the sheets.
She wild. They might be mad exfoliated. Just saying. Hold on, man. Let me go get this right, man, so I can take this and get this popping.
Mad exfoliated. Them shits is mad
Oh,
rub.
what's up?
Yeah, I did say that. I'm resolving
Nikki?
your phone. I did say they run faster. We ain't beat
hold on,
African or Jamaican in years.
You said they what?
I said we ain't beat an African or Jamaican in running in years in the Olympics.
Have you not? We don't be. Oh, see, man, we suspended niggas for smoking weed. You think Jamaicans is getting suspended for smoking weed? Probably not.
Asada's garbage though. I ain't gonna cap.
Who is?
Asada.
Naomi.
No, the drug is.
Oh shit. Okay, I thought you said Osaka.
No, Asada. ASADA.
Oh, what do you know? Naomi did.
Naomi Osaka's hard as fuck. Fuck you talking about hard.
Facts.
She beat the unbeatable. As that was a rookie year too.
A couple times,
In her rookie season?
Yeah, man. She can't mess with her.
You beat the unbeatable Serena, the queen.
Serena might have to give it up, man.
That's like saying somebody outdid Beyonce in singing just quick. That's that big in tennis. You know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you right now,
You beat
bro.
the queen.
Naomi Osaka is different.
She's a beast.
She's just younger, bro. Like, she young.
Built different.
And she just ready to, yeah, it's her time now, fam.
It very much so is. Hats off to you, Naomi.
I like the way she be standing her ground on shit, man.
Hell yeah.
She a little warrior.
Shouts out to you, Sha'Carri, as well. They did you dirty on some
Oh,
shit.
speaking of her, you see her, she's in that Kanye ad for that Donda
Good.
coming out on I guess Friday.
I'm glad.
Yeah, man, the ad is dope, man. It's like a little sneak peek for his single. He was kind of, shit was hard.
About this fucking NBA Finals and how Chris Paul fucking choked?
Damn, dog, you think he choked?
Hell yeah, I think he choked. You can't put that on nobody else. Devin Booker showed up every fucking game.
Except for one game. Dog, Devin Booker tricked off the game, nigga, just in game 5. And I like Devin Booker, but I'm just saying, we jumped the bandwagon and put it on Chris, bro.
Okay, I'm not going to put it all on Chris. I feel like
Chris wasn't guarding Giannis.
I feel like Chris needed to step up a little bit more. Or I feel like Chris.
Before you say that,
I
know
feel
this
like
nigga's
Chris
numbers for the finals?
No, okay, let me take that back. I am being mean to Chris. I feel like Ayton should have stepped up more.
But you know what I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna just keep it a bean. I was waiting for them to like turn into like young players, because DeAndre Ayton, the whole basketball team outside of Crowder and Chris Paul had never played in the playoffs before, fam.
Right.
To get to the finals is nuts. Now, you know, you had some shit happen. It ain't like they just went through everybody. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But you can only play who on the court. I wanted Chris to win because of the struggle in the story. I know this probably is his best chance.
I wanted Book to win. I didn't want Phoenix to win for Chris. I wanted Phoenix to win for Book.
Yeah, man.
Because I personally, you've heard me say this about Book for years. I feel like Book's a fucking monster, dog.
He is. But he had to go through his struggles. He didn't adjust. And I know the next level for Book is he's going to go work on the next gear for his game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
3-point shooting.
Right.
Because the 3-point shooting is going to open up the mid-range for him. The mid-range is going to open up the rack to the basket. Like, Giannis,
he's a great mid-range shooter. He definitely does need to work on that.
Remember, Giannis got embarrassed already.
They was talking hella shit about them free throws, and that nigga hit, what, like 17 for 19 last night? Mm-hmm. We're talking about them free throws then.
Hey, but you know what it goes back to? It goes back to what we were saying, not being scared to take them.
Right.
Hey, fam, just like when Shaq was playing when we was younger, nigga, you knew Shaq was going to miss the fucking free throws. He ain't care. He was going to dunk on your ass and miss the free throw. And eventually, he was going to dunk on your ass and make 2 in a row.
Do you know what I'm going to keep it real?
And the coach was going to be like, stop fouling him.
I'm going to keep it real. Do you know what I wasn't feeling, though? Is all them times they let that nigga put his shoulder into people.
But they definitely was called. It was some iffy calling going
like
on in that shit.
shit.
Like, yeah, that's facts.
I didn't like
because they wasn't going. It was because the reason why is because they wasn't allowing it to be played the other way.
Because we're talking about that last play with D Book in the last game, nigga. When we did the last podcast.
Right.
You're not calling that on Giannis ever. This nigga just keep, nigga.
Yeah, man.
Nigga.
But hey, sometimes you
shacking this nigga every time, and that's back in Shaq's era. That was legal.
But
that's supposed to be illegal now.
He's a superstar. Giannis has played in the. He's been a league MVP.
You know how I take my fucking hat off to? Not Giannis. You know how I really take my hat off to?
Who?
Middleton, nigga, and fucking Portis last night.
No, Middleton, Portis, and
goddamn,
Holiday's defense.
Did Portis not wake the fuck up the last 2 games?
Dog, this is my thing. He's been balling all season when he's been called on. This is the thing. This is
I'm not saying he wasn't, but I'm saying the way just the way he woke up last game.
I'm just telling you right now, fam. Giannis and I don't want nobody. I'll argue with anybody.
No,
I'm not saying nothing. Let me finish what I'm saying. That was a super team.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to hear that shit.
That nigga
if any of those Cleveland teams, nigga, was as good as the Bucks, nigga, LeBron would still be in Cleveland.
Dog, that Middleton
is a
in
beast.
the last 2 games.
Dog, they got 3 All-Stars.
God
and he was making all the clutch shots, fam.
Right.
Anytime, like, Phoenix would come back, like, nigga, nah.
Middleton.
He get the ball, nigga, and go for like an 8-0 run or some shit like that. Nigga go for 6 by himself.
And that's not to say Giannis didn't do nothing. Like Giannis put 20 up in the fucking third.
Yeah, but like Giannis
17 in the first half, 20 in
but
just
when
the
they was trying to play
third.
through Giannis and let Giannis play like LeBron, they was getting upset and they wasn't making it far because he don't have the required skill set to play that way.
Right.
But if you let Giannis go from free throw line to the rim, nigga, he is about to slash and dash your ass for about 50 points every game.
You know what was hard about Giannis yesterday that I was not mad at?
When
That
was
nigga was
Chick-fil-A?
he was putting up them threes yesterday.
Yeah, and that's the worst part of his game because he wasn't making them.
No,
he
I'm
made
not
like,
saying he was, but I'm just like you said, with the free throws.
Yeah.
You can't be scared to take them sometimes.
yeah, but you got to be smart too. Like anytime Giannis takes a 3-pointer, it gets a horrible play.
But I thought it was. I was like, all right, this nigga's feeling himself right now. Because it was taking him early. It wasn't like he was late in the shot card. He was forcing the shot. He was just
I know. He was taking them early until they got him on the sideline. It was like, yo, if you play like your fucking size and your skill set,
I just like that
you leave here tonight, nigga, a finals MVP and an NBA champion.
Just like that.
All that shooting threes and shit, trying to be Kobe, LeBron,
I feel like he was
and
feeling
KD
himself.
and them.
That's all I'm talking about.
Feeling himself is the reason why they damn near didn't make it out of the last series.
I just like
because Giannis would let niggas off the hook. The reason why Giannis don't have a ring, possibly already, is because nigga he wouldn't play like Shaq,
right?
Like the new school Shaq. Like, hey, they gonna let me bang my shoulder into you? I'm ambidextrous at the rim with this shit, nigga. I'll either dunk on you or float it or lay up or jump hook it. I'm gonna play like that. He kind of got caught up into the analytics and the shit look cool. Everybody want to shoot.
Right.
He pulling up jumpers he don't need to take, and it makes it predictable to play against him. When he's shooting threes, what the hell is Middleton and all them gonna do? Go rebound?
Yeah, right.
Fam. And we got a 7-footer and Brook Lopez out on the side because he's a great 3-point shooter. We got him playing like a 3-point shooter because Giannis can't shoot. So why do we got Lopez on the perimeter away so he can't rebound if you're not going to drive to the basket? If you're going to shoot jumpers, let us put Lopez back down under the basket.
Lopez. You know what? The whole Bucks team really showed the fuck
They're
up yesterday.
They're a fucking super team. They've been a favorite to win a championship for the last 3 years. They just kept getting upset.
Middleton.
Maybe not the sole favorite, but a favorite.
I know if they keep having Middleton play like that all season.
You know what? You know what's
deadly.
crazy? Middleton averaged 1 point less than AD last year.
Yep.
So that's not counting Drew Holiday.
You know what it is? It's because
that's not counting Drew Holiday. So that's why I be arguing with people when they're like, "Oh, Giannis, he did it without a super team." No, the fuck he didn't.
It's because the
Bucks are a super team.
It's because everybody looks at Giannis as just a superstar. So everybody's overshadowed when that's a great fucking team over there. Exactly. But I don't
mean 3 former All-Stars.
No,
I mean like
current.
this year.
Yeah.
3 niggas on that team was an All-Star.
No, but what I'm saying is most people get caught up in the fucking hype of Giannis and forget that Middleton's a fucking monster, and that's why he's on $28 million contract.
You're being nice. Most people are fucking liars. All 3 of them niggas are making over $100 million.
Oh, Drew.
They're in the luxury tax.
Was that Drew?
He's a max player.
That's Drew, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The best two-way player in the league, damn near.
So, that's,
or one of them.
Because there's 3 of them, so I had to make sure I talk about the right one. We're talking about Drew.
Yeah. Hey, and shout out to the Antetokounmpo brothers, man. All 3 of them now have rings.
Yep, they sure do. Are there 2 holidays on this team, or is it another team? Because 2 holidays might have.
Nah, it was 2 holidays on. Damn, look that up because
New
that
Orleans,
was real.
Right?
Nah, maybe it was.
I think it was New Orleans.
Nigga, this rap is horrible right now.
Is it? It's crazy. It came up the same pack as the other one.
I know. That's why I used the other one. You want another one?
I might. I don't know how good a shape it's in.
The hell is that, nigga?
I'll unravel them sometimes, but I don't like how they look. I'll put them back and use the other one.
That's the only thing about the Leaf game. You don't know. Ain't nothing like getting nigga a whole bunch of bad leaves.
A whole pack of. That's why I stopped buying backwoods.
Yeah.
You get whole packs. Terrible.
Backwoods been shitting on niggas, man. They don't appreciate your
They
business.
don't give a fuck about none of us. And they know goddamn well nobody's out here just smoking backwoods.
Bro. Like, you know
They know exactly what
who
niggas
holding
is
you down
buying
right now.
this shit right now, dog.
You know who holding you down right now, Backwood.
It's like Swisher.
Cause I be
Everybody
tripping.
smoking Swishers.
And don't nobody care about the niggas that are. Like the
Right.
white men and black men in the world that's just getting a 5-pack of Swishers and smoking them.
Yeah, they don't.
The world,
Swishers
society
do not
don't care
give a-
about them. Niggas, society don't care about those people. So like, I know that that's not why they making Swishers in a pack, nigga. They doing that for niggas that break it down and put herb in it.
Shit, we ain't even got to none of the topics. We was over here just chopping it up.
Nobody need to know that. You know what I'm saying? Stop telling our sauce, nigga.
I love telling the stories.
You always telling shit that ain't supposed to be. Nigga, well, we was talking on stage. Well, nigga, we was talking like, nigga, giving these niggas all the sauce, nigga.
Fuck out of here. Somebody gave us all the sauce.
Who?
I don't know. Joe.
When?
Joe Budden and them be dropping the jewels a little bit.
I mean, yeah, Jules. Not the sauce. But speaking of, though, what you thought about Deion Sanders? You heard about him?
Nope.
What did you hear about?
I said no.
I said, what did you hear about?
Nothing.
I'm just fucking with you. Yeah, so Deion, prime time. Matter of fact,
Dog, before this shit used to always pop up on my
Pull it
fucking
up.
phone. I can't.
you got your phone? You on your live right now?
Nah, I don't.
I am.
I don't see
This
no news
YouTube
on
prime time walks out an interview. It's real easy. I'll give a quick backdrop, man. It's media day. He's Jackson State's head coach. Prime's doing his thing. He's Deion fucking Sanders, right? Prime got to be what, like 50, right? Younger reporter. Hey, Deion. Deion said, hey, we're not doing that. Would you address Nick Saban as that? I'm at an official press conference as the head of this football club. Coach Sanders is fine. Actually, I do call Nick. And he was just like, now you're lying. He said, because you know damn well if you'd have called Nick, you would have been out of it.
He said, don't say that to me.
Like, don't say that to me. He'd have got you up out of here. He's like, so let's just be, let's just keep it professional. You know what the reporter says?
When I interview people, I call them by their first name.
No, you know what the reporter says?
But
After he said that exchange? All right, Deion. You know what Deion did?
he walked the fuck out.
Got the fuck up out of there. Motherfucker, you were sitting here to talk to me. Not the other way around. You're going to have to go to your motherfucking editor and tell him why you didn't get the interview.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here. And I wish more people would handle shit like that. Like, fam,
He
in
really
what
hit him
world-
with the, all right, Deion.
in what
Like, you
world-
lucky nigga didn't come
and
beat you
that's
up.
what I'm saying. And that's what I'd be tired of, too. Because you wouldn't have – if you walked up to Deion and he told you on the street at Walmart, hey, don't call me Deion. Call me Mr. Sanders. You'd have said, okay, Mr. Sanders, because Deion would have whooped your ass all the way through to Walmart if he chose to.
Right.
But the fact that he's the head football coach, the fact that you know that he does have a lot to lose, and he's always going to lose in the public eye, it's just like, man, come on, fam. Like, you don't, what's his name, man? Old boy from Clemson, the head coach.
Oh, no.
I can't think of his name right now, but he's just a younger head coach, and I'm just like, nobody says that shit.
Right.
Nobody calls Jim Harbaugh Jim.
Yeah.
No reporter like, hey, Jim, why do you think – that's just not what they do.
They don't call Bill Belichick.
Hey, Bill. Like, hey, Coach Belichick, how did, and maybe they do, but they have an established relationship.
Right.
You've been asking me questions for 30 years, nigga.
Right.
So, yeah, call me Bill, nigga. What's it like, you know what I mean? We done went golfing before and did charity events. He obviously don't have that kind of relationship with you.
Right.
He's trying to create a culture, a professionalism, right? And, yeah, man, I just like the way he handles that shit, man. And I think more people need to do that shit. Because we don't do that shit all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Don't give them no sound bites. They ain't getting not one sound bite from Prime.
Right.
He just got up and walked away. Like, all right, well, cool. I ain't really want to do this interview anyway, probably. I was looking for a reason to get the fuck up out of here. Like, remember how Greg Popovich used to be, nigga? Mm-hmm. Then he used to get in there and look for you to say something stupid so he can get the fuck up out of there. Like, you know what? That's why I don't do these. Thank him. I'm out of here. Like,
matter of fact, actually, no. Thank you. I wanted to get the fuck out of here. I'm on.
Well, I think I'm out of this bitch. But yeah, that's been making the rounds. And the reason why is because you have certain people in the mainstream media and old media that like to chastise grown men. I think it comes from jealousy, and I think it comes from borderline, systemic issues. But so you got your, what's his name, Travis's of the world, and your, I can't even think of the other boy's name, man, because of that drink. I just drank, just kind of kicking in. But just a couple of, I would say, like more conservative radio hosts and things like that were calling Prime out. Like he was being unprofessional and he was being like, over the top and needy and just wanted a story and wanted attention. But I'm just like, man,
No, you want to respect.
One thing my mother used to tell me, man, she's always told me this shit, man, like you teach people how to treat you. You teach people how to treat you in this world, man. Like, I guarantee you he won't be calling him Dion no time soon because his superiors got at him like, yo, we paid for you to go out there to do a story, to get an interview.
Yep.
You leave your personal, shit out of it, nigga. This ain't your paper. This ain't your magazine or your entity. If you want that, you go build your own shit. Go start over on YouTube or something and see if you get an interview with Deion Sanders.
Right.
It's that, like, sense of privilege of, like, oh, I can talk to you any kind of way because I have a microphone. Like, I wish, man, like, he lucky that that's old Prime probably would have, hey, man, get some furniture moving, as the old heads say. But, yeah, man, some people are saying it has racist undertones. You know what I mean?
You might as well call that nigga boy.
And then some people like, yeah,
okay, boy.
It's like the refusal of giving him the fam. First off, he's a 50-plus-year-old man.
He's older than you.
Just call him Mr. I don't care if you call him Mr. Prime.
Or call him Prime Time. Call him by his fucking nickname. I guarantee you got hey, Prime Time. You got a way better response because that's respecting him.
But this is the thing, though.
You were calling him.
Deion has already been letting people know, hey, I didn't come here to be a celebrity coach. I'm developing young men and football players, and I got a lot of kids that I'm going to send to the NFL because we're good. Call me Mr. Sanders or Coach Sanders.
I'm just saying,
everybody on the campus has been calling him that. You get this one guy that's like, you're fucking Deion.
Yeah.
Remember what happened when the white dude tried to tell Clay, or the Hispanic dude was like, you're Clay. Clay. And he was whooping his ass like, what's my name? And who are you to tell me how to be addressed when I'm over 50 fucking years old? Mm-hmm. Not to mention how accomplished he is, fam.
All right.
That's just crazy to me. That's what was like asinine to me. And the fact that people was taking that shit up, like, it was wild. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But speaking, you brought up the JBP. We talked about this before. You said that and I'm not holding you to it. It's not like I got I'm right type shit.
What's the JBP?
Joe Budden Pop.
Oh yeah. One
of the things I noticed is you had raised the question. You was like, yeah, man, but I don't, is it going to sustain with all the shit going on? Woo, woo.
It has.
Yeah. It's sustaining. Like, and it's good. That's a good note. You know what I'm saying? Like, which we kind of should have some insight. This is not the way this podcast started.
No, here's the thing. I wasn't saying it like I wanted it to fail. Most times that happens, shit doesn't go right. I'm glad his shit
I feel you.
is still popular and popping and still's got the same power and marketing power and
now he did lose,
everybody's gonna lose viewers for whatever.
Not viewers,
deals.
He lost a couple deals.
Well, of course you are.
But that's the game. You know what I'm saying?
Anytime you lose original members from something, you're gonna lose original deals you had.
Well, that's not why.
What?
Remember when Shorty?
That's why. Or when you're gonna do when that shit happens.
That's gonna happen too. Yeah. Facts.
Tiger Woods lost hella shit when he got divorced.
For cheating.
Right.
on his wife.
That's shit that had nothing to do with the game.
Or nobody else. That shit's crazy.
So
I'm like, Tag Hewlett, what do you mean you're not letting him endorse your watches anymore?
Because he got...
You know what I mean? Niggas cheat with your watch on? Like, relax, Rolex.
Every niggas is going with a country,
Right.
the country club to go fuck their mistress with the tag
With
on.
the tag on, nigga, relax,
Fuck
bro.
outta here, relax. All
That's
the
what
way,
I ain't
yeah.
like about. I don't like when motherfuckers act like because you do something well, you got to be held to a fake moral standard that that the president wasn't held to.
Or because look, when Michael Phelps got caught smoking weed, he lost endorsements.
Which is stupid.
The nigga's smoking weed off season.
Off sea and no, they ain't catch him smoking weed.
Yeah,
a picture
somebody
surfaced
took a picture
of him holding the bong, and this is where it's fucked up when you're an athlete. Because in
Look
a
what
court,
they tried to do. Look at Lil Bron.
in a court of law, you can go and argue that down with a lawyer. Like, I didn't smoke it. I was actually handing that to someone else. Like, and by that time, like, I don't got no weed in my system. There's no case. But because he's on a USA Olympic team, like, sports leagues always try to give athletes like alternate like laws.
Yeah.
Like the NFL is
you're
big
no
on
longer.
that.
You're not human anymore.
Yeah, the big NFL, like the DA would be like, "Oh, we're not pressing charges on this guy."
NFL is.
NFL is like, "Well, it's under review." Like, nigga, who the
Or
DA?
NFL just he's never playing again.
Yeah, and it's all behind the collective bargaining. But I'm just like, dog, that shit crazy to me because I feel like you should be able to argue that, man. With a like, hold on, bro, who's gonna sue the NFL and be like, you don't get to suspend me from making money because you think I did something wrong when legally it's been found that I'm innocent.
Yep.
And they do that a lot because of the image of it.
Well, look
all.
what they tried to do to Lil Bron. So Bronny.
Yeah, I remember that.
Picture circulated of him smoking.
I already know what LeBron did was talk to his son about real friends.
Yeah.
Like, son, whoever did that,
That ain't your people.
is a op.
They've been waiting for you
Is a
to
op.
do something like
Get
that.
the hell away from them. Don't ever bring them to our house. And, yeah, we not doing that. The thing
once
about
again,
LeBron's celebrity power,
We're talking
LeBron
about
been to call Twitter, nigga, and found out who pictured it, who posted that.
Hey, talking about LeBron though, shout out again to Space Jam 2.
Watch it again, huh?
Nah, I'm just sick of the hate. So
Yeah, I know. I watch.
Hey.
Every time I hear some niggas hating on this shit, like on
Shout
TV,
out.
I'll watch that shit.
Good
Like,
fucking
nigga, fuck
good
it.
fucking movie.
I'm letting that shit play all in the
Still,
background
you gonna
and
get
all
another
that.
shout out. That shit was tight. Period. Nigga, stop hating on Space Jam 2. Stop hating on LeBron for no reason.
And it's
You're
funny,
talking
bro, because
about
I
it,
ain't seen when
nigga.
Justice League pulled up.
You didn't?
Nah, not the first time I
Justice League
watched
pulled
it.
up, yeah. And this is coming from a former LeBron hater. Stop. Leave the nigga alone.
Right, bro. And the thing is, I'm like, bro, there's something funny about thinking about it if it's LeBron. Okay, so it's LeBron, and Bugs and them is like, we're in the, remember, they were into the computerverse, so like they had access to everything that Warner Brothers, right?
Everything, yep.
So if you LeBron in that scenario, it is as fake as it is, but if it was real, who do you think LeBron's gonna be trying to put on the team? Of course, that nigga's like, nigga, Superman,
Iron Giant.
nigga, let me get Iron. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want the whole Justice League out here.
Yeah.
Cause you remember, nigga, that was the old school Justice League with the black whatchamacallit.
What else we got?
Niggas is wild, man. I don't understand the hate.
It's because we're not haters. Of course you can't.
Right, I just let my sister rewatch the first one, nigga. She started laughing. She was like, "Why niggas act like this movie was just so crazy, nigga?" Like,
because at the time it was, but
no,
we were putting it over.
at the time it flopped, and everybody that was hating on this one, all the like seasoned writers and shit, or critics, like Roger Ebert or whatever his name is, they didn't like the first one. What happened was on the 20-year release,
they rewatched it.
came out with the Space Jam Jordans.
Oh yeah.
That whole push, the retro shit had started kicking in. Nigga, it became a cult classic because it did hella good then on the re-release. But the first one was technically a flop. I mean, it made money, but it was always new that it was like they spent a lot of money.
Yeah, they spent a lot of money to make that movie happen.
I'm gonna be honest with you. It looked like they spent hella money on this movie, and I'm sure they had a good budget. But I'm like, I could argue that they probably spent more money on the first one.
They did because the technology's easier.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, this shit is some computer shit now. Like, they doing that shit with filters and all type of other little shit. He ain't got no scissors on this table. ladies and gentlemen.
But no, yeah,
I'll be
shout
back.
out to Joe Budden podcast for
Keeping
still
the train rolling,
going.
The show gotta keep going.
And the network still thriving after that female tried to do that goofy ass shit.
Fam, her shit had a slant to it. You know what I'm saying? We support our women over here at the ATS, but don't be coming with no slant shit. We ain't having no slant shit. You feel me?
And before you guys take that soundbite somewhere as no shot at no type of Asian community.
What are you talking about?
You said slant shit.
Yeah.
As easily somebody gonna take that.
Nah, because that already has a slant shit already means something. They don't get to come jump in our culture and they get like shit, nigga. Nope.
You know somebody would try though.
Oh well.
You know I'm not tripping.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. I ain't saying you tripping. They tripping, and I ain't gonna let it go down like that. Can't make a chemo out to hate nobody. My moms ain't raised me to hate nothing.
Shit, I hate mayonnaise. I really hate that shit. Like if I could make a law that mayonnaise is fucking outlawed in America,
What
I
a
would.
hater, nigga. Like, why you gonna fuck everybody else vibe up, man? Shit.
I really hate mayonnaise, nigga. Sour cream can go too.
Sour cream is necessary at times.
No, it can go.
So you don't like white creamy shit?
I
Pause.
like Alfredo
If necessary.
sauce. Yeah,
Okay.
very much so.
So I'm about to say,
pause.
if you ain't like Alfredo, nigga, I was about to say, man, all right, I see what kind of nigga you is.
You got phobia.
Yeah, I see what kind of nigga you is. Some niggas don't, you know what I mean? I see what you on. Like, you ain't fucking with nothing like that.
No glazed donuts.
Yeah,
or
at that
nothing.
point, I can start guessing the shit you don't eat. Like, you don't fuck with ranch either, huh, nigga? Like, yeah, I know.
I hear it.
Like, yeah, I know, nigga. You don't like ranch either, huh?
You know glazed donuts, nigga? Yo, that's hella funny.
Yeah, man.
I know what type of nigga you are. You one of them, huh?
Damn.
Hey, my nigga. What's his name call you last night?
Who?
These nuts. I ain't shit.
You gotta pause that.
Pause.
Nigga.
You gotta pause the These nuts joke these days?
In our 30s.
Really?
Yes, nigga.
I didn't know that. You know, in our 30s, we gotta pause when you catch a nigga slipping with a These nuts joke.
Yeah, you gotta pause that.
Why?
Because I'm 30, nigga. 30 plus, you ain't supposed to be thinking about no D's, no. I ain't got that kind of defense no more, nigga. You ain't playing that game. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that's real.
Nigga ain't got them
Niggas
reflexes
don't got
no
those
more, nigga.
reflexes no more. That's the last thing you think a nigga's about to hit you with in your You right. I give you that bell.
We keep the
I give you that
we keep
bell
the
like
pause
a
reflexes
motherfucker.
going. You know what I'm saying?
I give you that bell like a motherfucker because at 30-something years old, you don't expect a nigga to hit you with
nigga,
a
I
D's.
ain't.
Another 30, you don't expect another 30-year-old plus
Now, if
man.
you a little nigga, like,
Yeah,
oh,
you
okay,
like-
nigga, that's cute. Nigga,
You
I
don't
remember that
expect
shit. You know what I'm
another
saying?
30-plus
Like,
man
oh,
to
this
hit
nigga really
you.
gonna go there, huh? This nigga wild. On camera. Like,
Fuck
okay.
you, nigga.
My nigga's a wild boy. Nigga said, fuck it.
Wow, boy.
Yeah, that shit funny. Shit.
I do feel you. That hit you made me think about that. Yeah, 30-plus niggas can't. You ain't gonna think a nigga's gonna hit you with a D's nuts.
Yeah, so, hey, back on that Hove shit with Dame, it looks like Hove and Dame may have settled their shit because it looks like Dame definitely is going forth with that sale, that NFT of his percentage of the Reasonable Doubt.
Well, does that make it available for Jay-Z to buy one day?
I'm not sure, fam. You know what? Honestly, I think that's what it is. Like, fuck it. If you want it, nigga, that's how much I want for it. That's probably what he doing because he know Hove wants it, and Hove got an endless bank. Like, so it's like whatever he name it. If you do it that way and put it out there to where like, hey, Hove, I'm gonna throw it out here
if
for
Dame
this.
was smart,
Somebody else to come get it.
if Dame
Nigga,
was,
if you want it, you better pay me
if
this.
Dame
That's probably
was
what he
smart
doing.
and could put his ego and all that beef aside, nigga, take your percentage back and give me something in Rock Nation. Give me a branch off record label.
Fam,
give me
he don't.
a branch off movie.
That's the main thing. The main
company.
thing is what
give
you're saying
me a something.
is, hey, bro. You're saying, hey, bro, we built a lot together, and I know we had a falling out.
Let's do it again.
And you know what? I might have been wrong about some shit. I'm sorry.
Here's this.
But let's do this. Because
Let's
one thing we have in history is Biggs and Hov had a falling out too.
And they're good again.
And Biggs said that shit. He was just like, yeah, it's just Dame's ego. He said that on Breakfast, on Drink Champs.
Well,
he was saying like, yeah, man, we handled our shit. It was a conversation.
You know I got a big ego.
Right.
So it's coming from a nigga who would have a hard time putting his ego aside.
Big
too.
ego and foolish egos are different.
That's a foolish ego because I guarantee you, if he hit Hove and was like, yo, I don't want you to cut me no big chunk of anything. I want to give you this reasonable doubt back. Give me something to branch off Rock Nation with. Let's be, nigga, like you said, if anything we've done together is we've made millions of hundreds of millions of dollars
This is
together.
why this is not going to happen too. Because we talking about Dame like he's fucked up.
No, Dame ain't fucked up. I'm not saying that either.
I know, but when we say it like that, it's like, nigga, Dame looking at Hov like,
let me
nigga,
say this.
I'm on my way.
Right, Dame's on his way back up. Dame was never a nigga who was
I don't think he's
not gonna
built-
get back.
I don't think Dame is built for traditional corporate America.
Right. But I still think Dame could. We'd be stupid to say Dame's not gonna benefit from his relationship with Hov back to something again. Not saying he needs that. Not saying that he won't succeed without that. But who's like, come on, bro. You can't tell me that if Dame Dash got something in Rock Nation, he ain't gonna be the old Dame Dash again. Damn near in 6 months to a year.
I mean,
I get he want, but I get Dame Dash. I get
Dame's.
I get Dame's side of it too, because Dame's whole aspect of outlook is nobody will be my boss. Nobody will tell me what to do. Nobody will tell my kids what to do. When I die, I will leave everything because I built all this shit.
That's
so
cool.
I feel that side of it.
That's cool if you built it all by yourself.
Right. But like I said, I would have to take my ego out of it, and I'd have to holler at Hov and be like,
When you go, and this is all allegedly, but when you go curse out and disrespect maybe 5 of the 7 top heads in music, and the goal is to expand musically. The goal is to get a distribution deal. The goal is a company. The goal is to form conglomeracies in music. Those people that you cursed out because you're from the hood, they're not from the hood, and they'll fuck with you and deal with that shit when Jay-Z is still your artist and nigga and y'all going 12 million every time around and shit is out the park. But the day that you're not attached to Hov no more, and here it is, Hov is a superstar, and he's getting niggas gifts and shit for Christmas and being respectful, like, hey, how you doing? Like, just being a normal dude. Like Jay from Brooklyn, nigga, he from the hood too, and he sold dope. He's more hood than Dame was. Yep. But nigga, why was he able to transfer? Like nigga, same Kareem's Biggs. All them niggas. Sometimes it's growing up too, and then sometimes like what you do on your way up affects you when you don't have an artist that you can leverage to like do everything. Right. Like you know what I'm saying?
Right. And I feel that, but that's when you gotta take your ego out of it.
And that's where Dame ain't going.
Dame needs Jay more than Jay needs Dame.
And it was always like that.
Right.
But Dame never
thought
thought like that.
Nope.
He always looked at like, oh, I built Jay.
Nope. And
like I built Jay.
Like
I'm built this.
You
I'm
love
built
saying
that.
this, but he said the realest thing in his rhyme.
I hear niggas.
I
hear niggas saying they made Hov.
Make another one.
Okay.
Like I want you to make another Hov. He's nigga. Basically telling you,
because he know, like nigga,
please,
I got this culture, nigga. With I have my finger wrapped around this culture for 20 years, nigga.
Like, please.
There is no other me.
I wish you could, because he's like, I wish you would, because Jay-Z's always said, he said in that interview, there is a dude at his table right now coming for my spot.
And what did he tell you he was gonna do?
I'm assigning.
And who do you think that kid was? J. Cole. And J. Cole said that. Like, nigga, I was that kid he was talking about, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? He almost signed Drake too.
But that's the Jay-Z. Jay-Z's not egotistical when he says that.
Jay-Z has a huge ego. It's not foolish though.
But
he don't have a foolish ego at all.
Into that rhyme,
right?
Because Jay-Z wants you to create another Jay-Z, because that means you just brought another person out of poverty, and he's a fucking
even
billionaire.
deeper is what he's saying is that, nigga, the next nigga that's nice like me, I'm not gonna shit on him.
No,
I'm not gonna make it hard for him. I'm gonna
sign
that nigga and put him on. What he say? That nigga said, nigga, Bleak somewhere chilling, nigga. He's somewhere good somewhere. He was like, he don't even gotta write rhymes. He in my will somewhere.
Yep.
Like, that's just how he's always been. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jay didn't have to show up to Beanie Siegel's trial with Beyonce. He knows what that does to a jury. Yep. He knows what that does to a district attorney and a judge. Nigga, you out there acting like a thug when I made you a millionaire. Fam, you got 2 Bentleys. Your mom got a house in the sticks. You got a house in the sticks. Why are you in Philly, nigga, shooting at people?
And look at Freeway. Freeway parlayed his shit into.
Come on, man.
Nigga, I'm gonna keep out of any trouble. The last time you heard about Freeway was when he had the bad kidneys and had needed a transplant.
That's when his son passed.
And his son passing, yep. One thing you never heard about Freeway was filing bankruptcy.
Another
you
thing,
never heard he was broke.
No Rock boys went through that.
Right.
Same thing with Young Chris.
He ain't broke.
Young Chris is up. Because he writes songs for everybody. It's all these young niggas and shit he be writing for them.
Yep. But nah, I
It's
really
a million
feel
ways
like
to eat in the game, you know.
Like Dame should figure out how to bury that hatchet. Because I feel like it's really on Dame. Because I feel like Jay-Z's grown so much since then. He's open to the idea.
It's this documentary, catch if they're interested in it. It's called, it's an unauthorized documentary about Hov. He didn't participate in it. He didn't sign off on it.
Somebody just put it together.
It's called, what's it called? A Genius Escapes the Hood. And what it talks about is Jay-Z's like innate ability to assess situations and the people around him not being able to keep up. Like, so it goes into like when he was hustling. He said, you know, as he was younger, his father used to take him to these New York, they had underground casinos that was ran by the mob and shit. Mm-hmm. And his dad used to take him in there and show him like he's bluffing. You see that dude right there? He got a good hand. Taught him how to read people.
That nigga
and read situations.
Poker face.
Right.
He don't got it.
So Hov like plays the game of life like that.
Right.
He's playing chess.
Well, let's
nigga.
think about Hov and like you said, playing chess. How many scandals has Hov been in?
A couple, but over like 25 years.
Thank you. How many court cases for drugs or murder or any type of shit like that?
Outside of the land shit, nigga.
Yep. Rico.
Well, since he's been on this shit.
Yeah,
nah.
Rico.
It's out the way.
Okay, like I said, like you said, he plays chess. He don't surround himself with motherfuckers that's gonna get him put in prison for no Rico cases.
No, you can't fuck with Hov if you're still trying to sell.
Right.
And it was like that ever since he flipped the corner.
Yeah.
That's why, man. If you study this shit, it's this song called "I'll Ride" on like the Blueprint 2 or some shit like that.
If you sign with Hov,
hear me out.
Can't do drugs. You can't.
Hear me out.
No shit.
It's this nigga. It's this shit called "I'll Ride," and if you go listen to that song, it's an OD to his boy Emory Jones. They used to call this nigga Vegas Jones because he used to come out here from New York with Hov and them when they sold dope, and they used to tear Vegas down. They bought all the Cristal one night, nigga, on the strip. Damn. Like, and this is before these niggas was rapping. This is before Hov was rapping.
Things when you're in the club, like
it's
I
legendary shit.
100 bottles, like we can't do that. Well, then you need to go to every club.
Right. So
here, buy
so they got their shit. So like, nigga, they would just come down here balling, and a legend has it that it was a shipment from the Connect, and these niggas is big time.
Right.
So you talking about 22, 30 bricks, 40 bricks, whatever, in a van. Emory like, yo, I don't rap. You niggas is wildin'. Like, I support it. I'm gonna throw some money in. I'm gonna do whatever, but I'm not sitting. I'm going to get that.
Right. I need to get to that bag.
And I guess Hov was against it. Like, fam, we don't need that shit.
We gonna be that.
We passed that. We don't need that, and we going. We on our way
gonna
up.
make more than that
Allegedly, it was right before he did the Hard Knock Life tour. So he was already starting to see like,
starting to turn that corner,
and he was starting to see like, yo, I'm about to kill this shit.
Yeah, I'm about to be one of the greatest rappers alive, if not.
And just one of the richest rappers.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he understood is that they don't. I have my own label. Before this shit was cliche to say.
Right.
When nigga, you own your label.
You own your own label meant something.
And a lot. It meant a lot.
Shit was huge. Or when you had a partnership.
And
Not
so
you had a label under
distribution deal.
You had a partnership.
Yeah, and so
you know what I'm saying?
He had all that going for him. He was able to foresee like, man, this shit is gonna really turn into something. And he told him not to go. He told him why, and he did anyways, and he got pinched. And after 5-6 years in, as Hov was blowing up, the feds was coming at Emory like, bro, we see this nigga ain't. Because they real street niggas, bro. Like, I'm not calling you. I'm not writing you. Mm-hmm. We was at the top together, nigga. Like
they tried to flip him by saying,
yeah,
man. He ain't calling you.
They tried to flip him all kind of ways. They tried to flip him when he started dating Beyonce. Like, don't you want to go out and get you a nice woman? Look, this man's going all over the place. He's making all his money. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can get out of here. Emory stayed 10 toes down. I think he did about 10, 12 years. That's why on the song, the nigga said, Emory told them boys to go to hell about me. That's what he was saying. Mm-hmm. Like, nigga, when he was talking about the nigga, ain't nobody fucking with my clique. The nigga was like, that was like one of the first times in a long time that Hov had banged this shit. Like, yeah, nigga, it's Supreme Team. Mm-hmm. Like, you got to know that he was a part of, like, the second wave of the Supreme Team as a youngster. Like, niggas don't just know that. Like, that was his dope boy crew, and he was connected.
The crazy thing is we're talking about, like, you can't fuck with Hov, you still in the streets. Benny the Butcher said it. He's like, nigga, I had to decide to go on tours and stop selling dope.
You didn't hear the story that Memphis Bleak told on Drink Champs? It went viral. He said they song, the album was out where Memphis Bleak was on there. And he said it at the time, Hov has always been my big brother. Hov was always that nigga. I just wanted to get on a song with this nigga to be a hood legend and fuck bitches.
Right.
Because I knew I was going to be good. I was going to start making a little bit of money off nigga the feature and off doing shows with him. And those couple $1,000, nigga, I was going to go home fly as fuck, nigga. I don't got to ask Hov for nothing. Right. Not even flip those bricks, nigga. I'm just going to be a fly hood nigga in Brooklyn, nigga, and fuck all these bitches. That's how small time niggas was thinking. And he said one day, nigga, Hov, he didn't go to the studio. He's not a major rapper. He the little homie. Right. You know what I mean? I ain't going. I got these bitches. I'm going to smoke this weed, kick it. Nigga, Hov pulls up on this nigga. Kicks the girls out the house. And then sits him down and was like, nigga, don't you know that I'm motherfucking straight? I don't need to make another fucking dollar for the rest of my life. My mother's straight, my nephew's straight, and my sisters are straight. Don't you know that? He's like, nigga, don't you know that I'm a motherfucking millionaire? Do you understand what that means, Bleak? He said, nigga, don't you want that? You don't want nothing better for your mother? You don't want nothing better for your family? You want to stay in Marcy Park? You want to be around? And you ready to throw away a fucking opportunity that every nigga in the city will give their left hand for some skios?
Some scallies.
That's what you want to do? He said, all right, my nigga, you do that. Didn't take the nigga's calls for a week, first time ever. And then went on a little mini tour, nigga, and took another rapper, nigga, to rap his part. Another little young nigga from Brooklyn. Just to show that nigga. He said, and then when he came home, nigga, he was like, nigga, yo, let's go. It's time to work. He said, nigga, that nigga Memphis Bleak said, nigga, I never stopped working. I never looked back, nigga. And anything that niggas asked me to do or told me to do, I did it. And because of that, nigga, Bleak is a fucking millionaire. That nigga runs Duce. That's his baby. Hov is the face and the name behind it and the money behind it to get it started and to get the people to be like, oh, we'll fuck with you. But he was the one in Italy and in France and shit like that was like, yo, I got something for it. We can get this. So Hov was like, okay, well, nigga, you run it. So, nigga, he runs Duce. He created the bottle. He did all that. That's all Memphis Bleak. So I heard Irv Gotti say it. He's like, man, Hov is the guy because, nigga, he's made so many millionaires.
And that's and
Ain't that the key?
that's gonna be the same niggas gonna have to say about LeBron.
Facts. That's facts. LeBron, and the funny thing is, I wonder if Hov and Bron ever had those conversations because they're so close. Mm-hmm. And Hov been fucking with Bron since Bron was in high school. So I'm sure they've had those conversations, like empower the people around you, teach them what they need to do, and get it done.
Yep.
Don't be scared to fail with your team. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Shout out Bron, shout out Hov, shout out Nick Cannon, shout out Deion Sanders, shout out the whole Joe Budden crew. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out fucking Rory and Maul.
Shout out to Rory and Maul with they shit, man. They shit looking cool. It's enough for everybody to eat, man. And as far as the culture goes, dog, like this shit is going.
And boycott the motherfucking Olympics.
Yeah, fam. I don't think I'm gonna be able to watch the Olympics.
I already made that decision. They can kiss my ass. I used to love the Olympics too. Wake up at 3 in the morning and be watching all this shit. It ain't even just
the weed shit that they did with old girl.
It's the Black Lives Matter shit, bro.
Like,
fuck
what do you
like
mean?
not fuck the
Like,
the Shikari, but like the Shikari was the icing on the cake,
like,
bro. Like really, extra father, fuck y'all right now. Like bye. That shit won't be on my motherfucking
And you know what else
television.
I wasn't feeling? I wasn't feeling how like Tokyo is banning this brand.
Oh yeah,
albeit that it's black owned. But yo, man, our hair elevates. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, so you need certain things. Sometimes something that works for European style hair
Hey, guess what?
ain't gonna work.
Hey, Tokyo.
Well, fuck you.
I ain't pressed this
Well, fuck you.
fucking time.
Well,
Bunch
fuck
of
you.
niggas.
Well, fuck you.
Bitch, oh my bad.
That's all good. Get your shit off.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah, you know, do your thing. I feel you. You know, fuck them. All I was saying is that like, it's commonsensical to be like, hey man, well, it's two types of hair on Earth,
Ours and theirs.
right? So let's do something that's accommodating for both. And since your sponsorships and the companies you endorse refuse to acknowledge that there's two types of hair,
We're gonna ban.
why would you ban the one company that's looking out for the other athletes? You know, like it's just kind of crazy, man. I feel like the Olympics have had a history of shitting on black athletes in America,
Well,
especially American
fuck
black
you. Well, fuck you. Well, fuck you. Well, fuck you.
That's why I shout out to Kanye, man, for putting her in that ad, because I'm sure it paid her well. It's a Beats ad, you know what I'm saying? And it shows other endorsers and other brands like, fuck y'all. Like, you know, get down and lay down. You know what I'm saying? She smoked some weed after hearing that her mother died from a reporter.
Bitch.
In a state.
Y'all some bitches.
In a state at the time where weed is legal for recreational purposes.
Y'all some bitches. Y'all some bitches. Fucking straight.
And she could have served her 30 days and still had time to be there for the Olympics.
Yep.
They didn't want that girl and her imagery in the Olympics representing the USA anyway. And we just got to get to the bottom of that. So, I mean, I just wonder, what would America do? You know?
Yeah, what would America do if they had to send all white athletes for every event?
What would America do if you had to deal with all white athletes in football, basketball, baseball, all that?
I mean, like I said, every event, nigga. We wouldn't.
Well,
be
black athletes just took a strike until black people were paid equally for the same pay, same work. You know, the unemployment looked like regular Americans' unemployment.
Did you put a roach in here?
Nah, that shit was just a pinner. It's just the rest of the weed I had.
No, I'm not saying like it's a bad thing. I like that little.
There's a little extra
got
kick.
a little extra kick.
Yeah, I know. I feel you, out, man. We some dog ass niggas. I get it.
It
is what it is. No, I know. I know. I know you, my nigga. I know. We burn the ganja, man, around here.
The little little Russian there. I ain't never complained about that. Got that little hit you in the throat a little bit there. Pause.
Pause. That's a good pause.
But yeah, fuck the Olympics, man. It's
Yeah, I'm gonna sit this one out, fam. And I mean, I be watching synchronized swimming, all type
I
of
watch
shit.
everything, and I will wake up at 3 a.m.
And just
to
watch.
watch opening ceremonies for
Yeah,
the day
fam.
and watch what I can watch till I fall asleep again. Some of them basketball games be at 3 a.m. Nigga, I'm up watching them shits, bro. Trust me, it's pissing me off that I can't watch fucking Simone Biles go kill some shit again.
And you know what my problem with? Look, this is my problem with Samsung, Droid. This is my problem with Apple. This is my problem with all social media. There is an African American flag. FYI. Do something about it. I'm trying to do something
Please
about
get
it.
me a picture, because our ATS shit gonna have it. I'm gonna put that behind the mouth now.
There's an FBA flag.
You heard that shit.
And there's an
first,
African
nigga.
American flag.
We're gonna
You
start
know what I'm
repping
saying?
that shit
Yeah,
over here.
that's
That
what I
shit
said,
gonna be
because
on
it's
our
like,
merch,
fam.
nigga. Our t-shirts gonna
Yeah,
have
bro,
all that shit. Fuck that.
And ain't nothing wrong with it.
Is that it?
Hey, man. Who is that? Yeah, that's it.
Well, it's episode 54 in the motherfucking
In the books, man. Half a century. A little over.
Sir. Yes, sir. I'm your boy, Doc On.
It's your boy, Keem Sincere, man.
It's been another episode of Always
Always
Talking
Talkin'
Shit
Shit
Show. You know we love y'all. You know we love y'all like a motherfucker. But it's still, fuck how you feel.
Always.
Motherfucker, get out your motherfucking feelings.
New Always Talking Shit Show.
We gone out this bitch.